Hey guys, it's Typhon coming at you with another game of Hades 2. We're gonna try to slay Typhon once and for all. We're not gonna heat up at all because I don't think there's a point in it. And we are gonna get rolling. We're taking the snake staff and the cat because we're just trying to maximize our chance of getting out. And so we've got the item to use on Typhon, and I guess we're gonna get something there, right? You know? And we get a Hestia boon, which we would take on maybe like the cast, but we don't want on the attack or the special, I don't think.
Oh, but listen to me, all about the warring like the rest of them.
So Scorchcast is totally fine here. Now, ideally for the primary, we'll get like, yeah, like Aphrodite or Apollo would be good. We could also just take Aphrodite's regen ability, because it does give weaken the aura, and that will give, that's like enough tankiness to sort of run onto the back of, so.
I shouldn't be surprised, and yet a single goddess doing so much work? You're quite the inspiration, love. And terrifying, too.
So, we'll take Glamour Gain. Yeah, we'll take this for the Magic Restore. Mainly just because I want to get, like... I want to, like, see if we have more choices here, right? So... we don't get Apollo here. Now, Hera on the primary could be good. So what are we seeing here? We get a hammer, and we get hearts. And then Medea, Aphrodite. Yeah, let's just get the hammer first, right? And we could go for the Hephaestus one because it's rarer, but... ah, yes. It is a surprise. Heracles is here.
I'm on the job. Time to get to work.
Alright, so what do we get? What do we get? Attacks are faster. We could just take Vampiric Cataclysm for the Life Leech to have, like... yeah, why not, right? This is gonna let us be, like, very aggressive for the whole run and feel comfy.
One foreign word, one finger-wagging gesture directed at me. And
Heracles is still, like, working through some old witch-related trauma, right?
That won't be necessary. Though I would know how came you to feel this way.
On account of how he met his end.
Two questions too many. The more you know, the more you can manipulate. Now off with you.
It's like he just figures out that we're a witch after all this time. But that, you know, he's not like a bright dude, right? He's merely very reliable and tough.
The air feels different now.
Because with this and the life leeching, the other time we had it on like the Surf Sea Axe, which is less advantageous, but you know. I sure wish we had an Apollo set up, but maybe we'll find something cool elsewise, right? Because we've already got the weakness. And we can get Hera, right? And then yeah. Because if we get the Hera boon, then we can get Charm, and Charm is super excellent, and we can get that like early. Yeah, let's just go. We can get Hera on special or attack. Either one would be fine.
The barrier's lost some of its strength.
Yeah, because even in here, like, we could be taking a ton of damage if we felt like it. But I really like this weapon. This is like the weapon I feel like I'm best with.
Already is beginning to stir
But
on these reports. His target clearly is our summit. If only he were as easy to thwart as to predict.
it's because it's got good range, and this specific one, you know, lets you get some extra work. All right, so big damage here. Sprint for Hitch. If we just get the rush, then we'll activate both of those potentials and still save the primaries. So let's just do that, and then that'll give us a good ceiling for other boons that we can get, right? And we can get some cool duos potentially while we're waiting for the ones that we want. But we're gonna go Aphrodite here. And honestly, hope for like a duo already, even though that might be a little greedy. So getting it on the primary would be better than the special. I kind of like, I don't know what we want on the special, but I mean, I want like Demeter, but she's not here. All right, so there we go. Boom, perfection.
That's a feeling there.
And now we've got Charm from the beginning, which is just so good. And was there another door? Nope, alas. Because having Charm it's just very excellent. It allows you to behave much more like a smart person. Alright, so we take Medea, and then we take the Hex, because we need the Hex now so that we can take the Stars Path upgrade next. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And we didn't bring her the thing for the thing or whatever, but we're gonna give her some nectar because I love
One
Medea.
always could see plain your talent, sorceress. But truth be told, I thought your heart would be a liability. Perhaps, however.
And like I say every time, I know Medea's bad. I just like her a lot.
I'm
She's like my
thankful for your
favorite.
faith in me. My heart is never so assertive that it would lead me astray. Or so I tell myself anyway.
Melinda, how
You work
naive.
so tirelessly at your craft, Lady Medea. If I may ask, where do you find the strength for your pursuits night after night?
It's very much straightforward, sorceress. I seek to punish all who wronged me in proportion to the harm they caused. Though have no fear, you're not on any list.
She's
of
very
mine.
hardcore like that.
Have you been wronged so often that you need more than one list of wrongdoers? What happens when you've cursed them all?
My lists are based on categories of affront, from mere dislikes to deep betrayals. As for what happens after I've achieved my work, I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Alright, so big random damage, big armor damage, or, you know, the prophecy says we'll take this. It's like, there's only a couple more prophecies you'll fulfill for her. I kind of don't want to take it, but I guess, you know, the prophecy demands it.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
At least it's not like a bad thing, like some of the prophecies. You know, we've gotten most of the ones that I thought actively would be annoying to deal with done from most people. But alright, so now we need to grab the Hex. And then we'll just go in without a special or a primary. Which does feel a bit like trying to force the build unwisely. But, you know, we've got, you know, HP, we've got the duo boon for Charm, which isn't, like, strength here, but the Polyphemus fight, Polyphemus, we won't need, you know,
The monster Typhon.
we won't need
He
the
has
big
known
power
defeat
there.
before. He has
We can
since grown
level up in
size
the next one.
strength and fury. Yet I hold to every faith you shall emerge victorious against him, little star.
Alright, so impervious thing. I think we're gonna take big explosion from the sky, because this one, it'll get God sent. Will, you know, it's the worst one in terms of upgrades on the path, but we know the Hestia boon with that, like, gives everyone a massive amount of Scorch, and it's gonna help out a ton for wave clear. And then, you know, we know that we're gonna be hoping for the armor tie-in, which is just far and away one of the best ultimates on the Path of Stars, as far as I know. Alright, so here we do more cast damage. None of these feel very satisfying.
Not that.
But that's sort of the problem with not having... Yeah, but hey, you know, it's a pomegranate. What are you gonna do? You know, just happy that you found one at all. We'll be able to buy 2 boons here, if we can find them. But we get an Aphrodite boon.
I have the gold.
The fleeting quality of beauty is what makes us long.
Oh, and now we're gonna get a Hestia tie-in. We're getting duo boons so fast. This is awesome. You know, sure, we don't have a special boon or an attack boon, but we don't need them. We'll have duo boons.
You don't have much inner beauty to speak of, and your outer beauty I can melt off in a snap. And growing over
Hestia gets so mad.
would take a while by my reckoning.
She's like, don't you talk about me. Alright. Well, they're weak. They don't lose Scorch. You know, yeah, sure.
Farewell, Lord Charon.
Now, the Scorch that we have is off of the cast ring, but still, like, it'll be worth a few hundred damage each time, and you don't want to not take duos.
That town back there, as you call it, would have been bustling with mortals. Now it's a festering necropolis, all thanks to the Titan.
My sheep, they're glad to be alive. No complaints. But individuals like you got too many ideals. Best I eat you and be done. I hear you.
Yeah, I actually think this duo boon is going to be worth a ton of extended damage, right? Because, like, on a boss now, you know, you just stick that on him, and now, you know, we just run a little bit.
Time to walk this off. Slang you like a bug.
Yeah, this build, even without having anything on the primary, is already, in my opinion, quite strong. Just because, yeah, this, that duo boon, just with the cast to the Scorch, and to think that I just sort of took it and was like, that'll be fine. I think it will actually be very good indeed. Because good old passive damage, you know, that's what you need. And we've got it. We've got... That's why I like the staff anyway. We have what I call turret staff, which is just so wonderful. It's a great item. And we get messenger and origination. So origination is... This is actually going to be amazing. So when we have the weak Scorch effect, they're going to be taking 50% more damage too. And then the other one was the speedy thing, the messenger, which will let us, you know, we can use a cast to be able to not take damage there. So let's try to get this real quick before we move further on. Because we still do need this currency. We have, like, the very last grasp thing to still get.
Tickles.
And now we'll take Path of Stars. This is going to allow us to definitely get the Godsend effect, or to get a plus armor effect if it's in the tree. And we would take that over the Godsend effect, because that just lets you play mega aggressively on fights you don't understand, which is so many of them. But let's get to it. They are already charmed, because of course they are. And I love this staff because it allows you, you know, if you want, to play like really smart.
Change of course.
Alright, and here's our Pathos Stars. Because if we get the one that's going to, yeah. Oh, beautiful stuff. If we get the one that gives us armor, we don't get the one for armor, unfortunately. But firing an extra blast is pretty good. It would make it take 50 more to cast. So not getting the armor does sort of sting, but I think... yeah, we'll just go Godsend first. And then go to speed drain there.
Your path has led to Hestia.
You know, not getting the armor, you know, it's not always there, right? The ultimate epic abilities at the end, you know, there's a selection of them. But I feel like this tie-in will be pretty good. And, you know, we hit, you know, Auntie Hestia on the Godsend thing will be good enough to get some good work in. And of course, still nothing on the attacker special, but we could probably do big enough damage to deal with most problems just off of our cast in the weak tie-in and the Hex. But, you know, I would prefer to get something strong before too long. Wow. Taking the hits. There we go. Here we go with money over pomegranate because none of our abilities want to be improved, right? Or not specifically, anyway. Ah, Icarus. Decent. That was ugly. That was perfect.
Took on Typhon, eh? I caught a glimpse of him, as close as I dared fly to that huge storm. He could have squished you like a bug.
He could not have squished me like a bug. I was too quick.
And bugs have wings.
I don't know how we'll do on this one. We'll just have to see how it all pans out.
Fortunately, I'm quicker, and have every god and goddess on Olympus backing me.
You know, because...
but they're my pales in comparison to my inventions here. Well, I shouldn't even jest.
we still don't have, like, some of the tankiness that we've had in previous builds. By a long shot. Cast to injure ourselves? No. Supply chain, so clear 7 encounters, and then we'll get HP and pomegranate slices? Yeah, sure, why not?
Here you go.
Thank you.
The last time we saw that offered, it was, like, on Olympus, so, you know, less advantageous. Because here, you know, the health shouldn't matter. We shouldn't be at low health, but, you know. Ha! And that guy's our guy. They gave us the strongest guy from the tie-in. Like, the veritable boss character given to us. Alright, we take the HP here. Yeah, and the big guy comes down first in these engagements by a little bit sometimes, which gives us the ability to wear down his armor. Oh man, you know, getting that very early charm, because, you know, what do you need power for if you have that? If we could get that and then the Apollo thing for, like, raising them from the dead each time, oh, that would be so cool. Like, you charm them and then they come back. That's the dream.
It's quiet.
Too quiet.
Thirsty, but hey.
Alright, here, and then we will buy Hermes boon that will show up eventually.
Go on, Tula.
And send Tula out to go fishing for us. You know, that is the good thing. We never have to go fishing when we're here with our cat. Cersei?
Cattle milk. Heap of soil. There you are.
Here I am, and we'll give Cersei a nectar.
Not all divinities require offerings, you know. Our Olympian relatives, they have come to expect this type of giving, but not I. Do not presume to spoil me.
Olympus is well accustomed to receiving offerings from all across the land. Living here on this remote island, I don't think you're at risk of getting quite as used to it as that.
That awful storm enveloping the Mountain of the Gods, why, just the other night it cleared, all brilliant moonlight in its place. I thought perchance you had achieved what you'd set out to do.
She says, huh. I'm like, oh, come on.
It turns out the father of all monsters is not particularly easy to dissuade. I don't know who wants his vengeance against Lord Zeus more, Typhon, Prometheus, or Kronos.
Our Lady Hecate and you seek vengeance of your own. You've met Charybdis in the rift here, yes? An all-consuming force. When I imagine vengeance, all I see is that engulfing
That
maw.
makes me want to fight Scylla. Alright, so the prophecy says... Yeah, I mean, why not? We'll randomly draw 2 of them and upgrade them. Why not? What do we get?
So mote it be.
The champions and excellence. Okay, so slightly higher chance for legendary or rare. And then we get another roll. You know, it's fine. And the prophecy foretold it.
Thank you for having
It's not as good as getting, say, judgment, but you know. Since my favorite thing is passive abilities, you know. Oh yeah, and Auntie Hestia just drops the base. Boom, baby!
Captain's wheel.
Get a Hermes boon. Lots of good ones, you know. Omega attack speed, money. Still definitely early enough for money to be a takeable boon. Definitely not missile slowdown, because we've already got that in the tree.
Only I could whisk you clear across the sea rift that Poseidon carved out, but we mustn't get spotted working too closely together. And besides, you're helping us with every deck you swab, so cheers!
See, like, isn't that like wise for me saying we mustn't be spotted? You know, all of the Olympians know, but like, but Artemis and Hermes are like not interacting with them, right? Like, they don't know. The Olympians don't know what's going on with there. All right, so we could take faster moves, or which would be like okay. I don't think that's actually going to be that good for us though, right? Because we will, yeah. Let's just take travel deal. This will let us buy more stuff
Spectral gate activated.
through the rest of the run. Because here now, like, we can buy a boon, and then we'll buy another boon right after. Zeus? I mean, we could take Zeus on, like, the special, I guess. That could be cool. Strikes for chain lightning, I do like the idea of, but... Yeah, I don't like the idea of it. Because that prime 50 would just be pretty big problem for us, but, you know, maybe we could work around it. We've got decent regen from the week and everything. So we could potentially, with what we have right now, if we take the special, access either one of these blitz things from that, which seems worth doing, right? Yeah, certainly. Oh, and we get Poseidon. If we get Poseidon on the attack, that'd be great, you know. Then we'll have like a huge split of Olympians, which is like pretty cool. I feel like you normally only see like 4 or whatever, but this is going to be like a lot. And we don't want to lose the Hestia cast. It's actually really important. Let's roll this. I want on the attack. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Perfect. So now we've got knockback on the attack and a little bit of damage. We've got, yeah, Poseidon Aphrodite. You know, we won't be able to get some of the cool Aphrodite tie-ins, but we've already got really excellent duo boon access through there, and so pretty exciting to see what we can get with the rest of these rolls.
On Olympus last night, babe. Looked like the storm cleared for a little while. Almost flew in for a look-see, but I don't like the cold. What happened was, after I got past you, I eventually climbed all the way up to the summit where I sent the father of all monsters, Typhon, crashing to the earth.
You did? Whoa, you must be really strong. Or Typhon must be really weak. And since you're back already, then I guess whatever happened didn't mean a thing.
I love Eris. She's the queen of the trash talk in this game. No one else can do a thing in the trash talk game compared to her. Alright, you know, this is awesome. This build is so good for boss killing because all we have to do is keep on keeping her weak, get the Scorch on. You know, this is better than having... Yeah, I'm like, this is so much better than anything that I had believed about having Hestia boons on things, right? Because this, now we don't need it on like a special. When you take it on the cast, you get Aphrodite on a special, or on this, and then you can get this duo boon, you know, if you get it. Clean. Because, yeah, this build is...
She never learns.
You know, it's all come together. It's not incredibly mega high damage, right? Not individual damage, but it's got all of this beautiful wave clear and crowd control stuff. It's got weakness. It's got bind off of the dash. We got this Scorch that just stacks, and that's really, really good too, you know. You weave in, you lay a couple casts down, you get that big Scorch stack, and then you just bounce out and you let it pull down after the weakness effects goes down. Alright, so what we want to do here is... we would need to take more damage for that to get powered up here. We could just take money. Or we could take Experimental Hammer. That would be good too. Yeah, I think we can just take money. I'm not worried about the Prometheus fight here. And then we'll go to Lucky Tooth for the final stretch, of course, because I am worried about the Typhon fight. I don't know if we're going to give him like an extra phase, you know. And I do know that I am not confident with my abilities. But, you know, we've got, you know, if there are ads, we've got our charm. And we're going to be able to, I think, fairly cleanly make our progress through these issues. Oh man, falling down, embarrass. There we go. You know, we've got such good abilities already, though. I love passive stuff stacking up. I love getting the high rarity things. I love getting, like, just a whole bunch of legendary and duo boons that, you know, maybe they don't transform what you play as, but they're very fancy, and it's about sending a message, you know. I like that. Like, I love our build now better than I would love one that did it fast, because at least now we get you know, you get to see all the cool stuff coming together. It's like, oh yeah, I charm them, and then, you know, then we drop the base from on high. I wish it gave me armor, though. Man, do I ever. But thanks to Life Leech, you know, even having a kinda crummy room, it all works out. Alright, specials bouncing? Yeah, because this does blitz.
A fishing point is
and
there.
That is good. A fishing point. Fascinating!
Go, Tula.
So Hera Dionysus. I think here you always take Dionysus unless you're like targeting a very specific boon. Which, like, I don't think I am. Because, like, if you get something for, like, Hangover or any of the other stuff, you know, like, you can really, really get a cool ability out of Dionysus, who, of course, is always doing his own thing, you know. You can't really get him engaged with a problem like this. He wants to have a party.
Prometheus, he's back. I must be out of the loop. Thought he was still strapped to some mountainside, getting his innards gnawed out by an eagle. Something nasty of the sort.
Ronan, you say you never played the first one, you have to play it first in order to play the second? No, but, like, this takes place probably, like, 15 or 20 years, probably, like, 20-ish from the events of the first game. So a lot of the same characters show up in Greek myth, but, they just explain to you what goes on, you know, that matters, you know. And the stories are linked by characters, and, like, so, like, we're, like, the little sister of the person here. But this is the God of Wine here, who's, you know, giving us a boon. But no, the game does a very good job of being essentially self-contained. Alright, so the prophecy wants us to take this, but I feel like Hangover Effects is better by a big margin. Here we take the Aphrodite thing for a heightened rarity and the boss fight. Yeah. The Path of Stars could be good though, is it? I don't know. No, you gotta go for the higher rarity thing here. But no, I would say that.
Can't understand a word I say.
Okay, so this is the game it's set in Greek mythology. You're trying to get rid of the big bad guy. And there are different weapons and stuff that you get to do it. Now, the Greek gods show up and they give you boons, you know, they empower your weapons and your special moves and stuff. So each run is different, right? You don't know what you're gonna get, you don't know what kind of build you're gonna be able to put together. You know, and then it's called a roguelite. So you don't win the first time, you die and you keep dying, but then you get access to new abilities passively and then get stronger and stronger, and then you start being able to get through. And so basically it's just about, so you caught me, this is the third act of the Olympus climb.
In the name of
yeah, you can do a run from the start to the end of that section and kill the big boss of the game there in an hour, you know, without like trying that hard to go quick. So here we get more tanky or make them take more damage. Let's take that one.
This feeling, oh.
But like, so I haven't like totally beat the game yet, but I've beat the end boss of this segment like 4 times and the end boss of the other segment like 6 times. But it's built so that like you don't complete the story in one victory. Like it builds upon itself. You meet new characters and you build your relationships and stuff as you're unlocking stuff. So you're not supposed to beat it right away. You know, the game, it would be very difficult to do anyway, like very difficult. I mean, people are real gamers and I'm sure people can do it, but it would not be like a casual thing to do. Oh, the special is bouncing around now. That's so good.
Hermes, at your service.
The messenger.
But yeah, and you know, it's all about getting better and better over time and finding a way to, you know, to make that work. All right, we're going to re-roll these with one of our cool abilities. All right, so for either money or a bunch of faster sprint, let's just take the money, I guess.
Very well.
Difficulty-wise, what I say is like a Dark Souls. Yeah, no, it's not like a Souls-like. I don't know. I don't know how I describe the difficulty curve. But I mean, the bosses will often have abilities where, like, if you ignore them, you'll lose. You know, extended family. Yeah, that's going to be a big buff there. This one gives you a percentage-based boon based on how many things you have. And all right, we have to pop this guy. And he's got some abilities. I don't know what they do. It doesn't matter. Drop the base. So these... Oh, downers, that's the miasma thing. These are like mini-bosses that are optional. Well, they're just armored foes, not like true mini-bosses. And now we get like something for our hex, which is the big meteor thing that we drop. But yeah, but I would say that... I haven't played Typhon. I would say the first one is... I would play it first. One more Godsent. And then... Yeah, we'll just go that way. Here, we take money over MP. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a little easier. But there's a lot of unlocks and stuff, which I love. Some people don't like that kind of thing. I love it. Like, I love having a bunch of things to build up to. And the soundtrack's so good. You do not in the first game you play as the son of Hades. He's called Zagreus. And in this game we're the daughter of Hades. We're called Melinoi. But so just broad bedrock story is that we were raised separate from our family for our whole life because we had to be spirited away because the big bad guy showed up and imprisoned all of our family, and we basically got away and we were raised by someone to take our vengeance upon our foes and that kind of thing. Whereas in the first game, it's like you're the son of the god of the underworld and you're mad at your dad, so you're trying to get out. So like the stakes are much, much higher in this game. Oh, also like the dead have risen and stuff, and it's been going on for like your whole life. Anyway, the stakes are much higher in this game. But the story of the first one is wonderful, satisfying. It won the Hugo Award, which is like for like, I forget, it was like sci-fi or fantasy, right? I forget the exact category. But the Hugo Award is like, it's not for games, it's for books. They've never given it to a game before, and the first Hades got it. As a lifelong, I'm an old person, I'm like 39, as a lifelong lover and an appreciator of Greek classical literature and mythology and these stories, like Hades was a triumph. It's one of my favorite games, and it was tremendous. This one is super great as well. It came out just a couple of weeks ago, and I've been playing the daylights out of it and just having the best time. There's different weapons used. So this is a staff, and each weapon has different, they're called aspects, so different like abilities on it. So this staff puts down little turrets when I do my charge move that shoot extra times, and some of the other staffs, you know, they might have like generic abilities, or they might like change things up in some special way like that. Going to this stuff is gonna be maybe not. So this is the first sequel that this studio, Supergiant, has ever done. Which I don't know their whole catalog. I have played this game of theirs called Bastion, which was amazing. I only played it like one time, but it was super good. Damage from these moves make them take more blitz effects. I mean, that actually seems very cool.
Excellent. Let's get you someplace safe.
But there's a lot more, like, we have like an animal familiar that's following us around. That wasn't in the first game. You know, there's a lot more stuff. There's a lot more things to look at and level up. We're gonna do this too. We're just gonna get all the money, right? Just all of it. And also, more enemies is alright. The faster we do these, the more money we make out of it, but it's very forgiving on speed. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. So, you're going up and you're fighting the same bosses each night, but there's this thing in the first game called the Pact of Punishment, in this one where, like, basically you can make the game harder. And at those levels, it is every bit as hard as Dark Souls or harder. If you turn everything on the first game, I think only 2, maybe 3 humans have ever beaten it. I think it's just 2. So it's not like you can get good. It is a thing that takes the most dedication you ever imagined. Think like a Dark Souls hitless run, but worse, because it's heavily RNG. But anyway, but that's all optional, but you also can get extra currencies to upgrade your weapons and stuff doing that, right? So you might want to take the staff with 2 of those. And the first ones might be like, okay, put a 9-minute timer per place, or give them an instance of damage reduction, or make them a little faster, or do more damage, or soup up the boss fights. So there's a way, they're all the same bosses, but you could give them an extra set of abilities, basically, which I've only done on a couple of the bosses. So it's not like, oh, you're doing the same thing each time. You can really, really rev it up and make it tremendously more challenging. Wolfborn, I have not finished the story yet. This is our climb to Typhon. We just made the item to bring up, so after the 4th Typhon kill, so this will be the 5th one if we get it. So, alright, so what we want here is... Now, isolated foe damage is really good, but getting dodge doubled, so 6% dodge and then 12, because I'm like kind of bad, and that'll help out. And then we'll buy another Hestia boon. Blitz effects deal Scorch whenever they deal damage. This is going to be excellent. And we've got so many duo boons now. We've got, you know, we've got so many duo boons. We got all sorts of amazing power. We've got Charm. We have, like, the weakness that sticks on them with the Scorch. Everything's going so good. I actually need to take a very short break. I'll be back in like 1 minute, and then we'll do the Prometheus fight and carry on. All right. Yeah, I would say the difficulty in Hades is principally learning. You know, first it's about learning it, and then just, you know, you know, just learn how to play it. But, you know, each boss has only a couple things that you really have to pay attention to. There's a boss in this game, the second boss of this act, and I still don't know how to beat her. I just do it. Fourth rivals fight on Surface Under was more fun than the third ones. Yeah, I haven't even done the second ones even one time. I've done the first vow of rivals for each, and then I didn't do it anymore. I kept dropping too many Death Defiances just trying to get through the first one.
Because they punished you for crimes you knowingly committed?
Exactly. And that was the thing I was thinking. I was like, you know, I'll just push forward, get the story going, and like, and then, you know, we'll unlock new weapons, and then I can actually learn how to play the game. This theme for Prometheus is so good. The way that like it sings, like the brass, like the trumpet stings in the background come in. It's just like so triumphant. It's so good. All right, let's get to it. Duo boon too good. Because just getting the scorch stuck on him, I mean, it's not dramatic, but it's 100 DPS. Alright. It's enough to get it done. Alright. 2, 3, 1. Ah, I missed it. Feels bad. Can't catch me because I'm very clever. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh man! 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I'm still like thinking about when to do it, and the first one hits me. Feels bad. Oh, please don't drop another one here. Ah, oh, golly. Rough. That is so bad. Oh, man. Oh, and I didn't get to see what he said because I was so annoyed. Well, I hope what he said wasn't important.
Enough of his foresight.
It froze me on the screen. I was trying to dash.
Some gemstones.
Man. So it's probably the hardest boss for you back in early access. Yeah, I didn't play then. I don't normally ever play early access games. Like I don't pay for them anyway. You know, I'll do like a beta or a demo or whatnot. But I stayed away from it, not least because I was sure that I would have a good time, but I wanted to, you know, wait because I was playing other games and stuff. Because I didn't play Hades at release. I just played it like a year ago. But, you know, we've got a whole bunch of money and our 3 extra lives here, so maybe we'll be able to make it work. We'll be able to buy a lot of stuff, right? Several of our Typhon kills, like 2 of them, yeah, half of our Typhon kills have been because we got the the hex with this hex where you get 50 armor on cast, and we just basically just won. And then I had like this axe build that just did like 2,000 damage all the time, and this one's not that punchy. We've got a lot of cool abilities though, but we don't have something that's like, you know, 50 armor all the time. Yeah, because I played like 40 hours the first week, but I haven't beat Silksong yet. I'm in Act 2 at the moment, doing some stuff. But, you know, I was having a good time there. Alright, so Path of Stars or Triple Pomegranate. Huh. I don't even know if you can look at the Path of Stars here. But anyway, I want to say that it's already good enough, right? But what'll we get out of a pomegranate, right? Like, anything we care about? Splash damage? No. Blitz damage? Maybe. Cast? I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe.
Next floor. These two again.
Oh no, these two again. Yeah, Auntie Hestia getting it done. Because the thing about this Scorch with the Duo Boon is they will take a lot of damage from it, and they're already toast? Yeah. You know, because the number doesn't go down, but they're taking the damage. If we could just get the Hestia Boon for faster Scorch damage, that would be very good. I bet whenever it shows me what happens at the end, okay, so more Scorch damage. We already are fine there, though, because that's just like, let's just get 3% more dodge, which becomes, you know, 6% more dodge. Against Typhon, I'm always getting hit by stuff, you know. Just all the time I am. And the Scorch damage is just how quickly it stacks. And as the general rule with this build, because we have the Duo, the Scorch is always enough to take care of business. We don't have to worry about building a bigger stack. Because as soon as we have Scorch, it's already good enough.
Here he comes.
Yeah, see, like that. And then we get our pomegranates from the Icarus Boon here. Alright, so Zeus or Aphrodite here. Where's the list? Alright, we can't get her legendary. That would only be worth 4%. We could get that one, which isn't that great. We could get the Heartthrob thing, though, and Heartthrobs are very good. Zeus could give us some stuff. We can get the Heartthrob thing, and Heartthrobs are good. I've done, like, a third of all of my damage off of a Heartthrob before. Oh, wow. Well, right into the charged move. Smart. Okay, wow. Truly an incompetent, you know. Maybe we're not going to beat Typhon. Maybe we're not going to beat the tail of Typhon. It's too early to say that. Anything could happen. Like I could die to these things. That could happen. What? Oh, what a way to mistime that. Freezer burn? Yeah, I wanted Demeter. I wanted Apollo, like, abstractly. I got the Hestia cast very early and didn't have an attacker special boon for the longest time. But yeah, I wanted Demeter on, like, the special or the primary just like in general to hold him still. And Freezer Burn is just so cool. Alright, so rush into flows with Blitz, activates. I just don't think that's very good, right? I feel like taking this is better, even though, because who are we going to be rushing into, right? Like, that's not what this build wants to be doing. Enough to, because it's just like 80. Nah, it's not good enough, I don't think. Maybe it is. I don't think it's good enough for what we're trying to do here. And then I guess we'll just take this, even though it's not very good. I mean, 50 max HP. That'll count for something whenever it's all said and done. But I think Tula's and the Tooth are just not even percentage based, so it'll only be worth what we can get out of a fountain. Whoops-a-daisy. You know, maybe we should have probably re-rolled it.
The fortress behind which the Olympians take shelter.
Because we could have got the one for like you know, better weak tie-ins or whatever. We've got 1,200 coins at least, so, and there'll be an extra thing to buy.
Can't stay in chat, but good to see you, Em.
Yeah, so we can buy these.
Olympus, I accept this message.
I kind of want cast for Fireball just so we don't have to keep on. Yeah, that's what we want. Now we won't have to stand around them anymore. Maybe it won't work. We'll take this for a ton of HP. We'll take this. And additional damage, or higher charge, or bigger area. Additional damage. Alright, so we could swap a hammer boon for 2 random hammer boons. What are the hammer boons? They are vampiric attack. That would be nice to get rid of because it's not very good, right? And then the other one is bouncing special. Which isn't that useful for this fight. I mean, yeah, I guess the hammer thing here is okay. We could take the armor, but this has the best chance. Alright, so we get Etheric Moonburst. Special gets a power shot that does more damage and gives me magic. Amazing. Awesome. Alright. Well, full HP, 300 or so. Oh, Ronan, you'll be able to see what a run looks like from the start here, one way or another. Oh man. And that is so much. No, let me run away. Oh, not so good, huh? Well, we spend a hex on that. Oh well, what are you gonna do, right? Oh, my attacks drain mana each time now. That is rough. Okay, well, I was saying what's the worst that could happen. That's pretty bad. Well, I mean, it's not bad. I just got to change my style.
It's me you want, monster.
Ronan, so you die, you don't carry, you carry, like, your weapon level and what you have access to there, and, like, your pet, and there's these cards that give you passives, like my extra lives and getting life when I go into a new room. All of that is new, that you build on that each time. But everything, like, all my abilities from the gods, my fiery cast and my lightning bolts, all of that goes away each time. So you build it new each time from the beginning. But, you know, stronger each time than ever before, hopefully. Because you don't start with all of the weapons, you just start with one, right? And then you unlock more. I think it's just one. And then you unlock more and more, and you build more and more passives, and then eventually, you know, you find that you're far more powerful than you ever remember. But Oh man, oh man. We still got 2 lives. I think this is... Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. We just gotta stick this, right? We only need to do, like, a lot more damage. And then he's done, and then he's done, right? All we just gotta do is... Oh, no, 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 not like this, not like this! We dodged that. Yeah! Yeah! Ha-ha! Yeah! After you finish running, it doesn't matter how you did. You know, if you're running for time or whatever, but it doesn't matter how it looked. It doesn't matter how many hit points you had. My first Typhon kill, I got nervous. I couldn't like see my HP, right? And I had the dagger, Liminoros, and I just like went to it, and I ended up living with no lives left and 5 HP. Great stuff. All right. Well, I'm assuming we're going to get... We got entropy. All right, so... this is the item that we need to use with the other item to defeat the big bad guy.
Typhon's essence. The power to stop time.
So, very exciting. Which is great, too. We're going to go down, which means, you know it, everybody's favorite band, Scylla and the Sirens. Oh, man. What a catchy bunch of amazing artistes they are.
To all my family on the mountain.
I liked their first song, but of course, their follow-up effort with "I Am Gonna Claw" is just mwah. To an old emo kid like me, you know, a happy kid with the heart of a sad punk. It's What a great track. And so fun how the boss builds into it. Like, I love the boss design in this game. Except Eris, because I don't understand how I'm supposed to fight her.
Greetings.
Demeter's here again.
Moonlight guide us. May moonlight guide you.
But we like diss Zeus by talking to Grandma first. Yeah.
Turned the weather such that not even Lord Zeus or I could stop it properly.
Bye, Wolfborn. Thanks for stopping in.
And we have you to thank.
And thank you for your good luck wishes. But yeah, you should definitely check out Silk Song. It's a wonderful time. I haven't beat it yet, but I mean, it'll make you unhappy and miserable and question your choices, but it's very beautiful and a great game.
Thanks for it all around, Grandmother. Typhon gave in to the combined might of the gods. I merely concentrated our fell strength. Now to press this advantage.
Perhaps not even Kronos can withstand what you unleashed. But be careful, granddaughter. Make certain we shall meet again.
You say is it a good game to learn about accurate mythology, has its own take. So there's... it's complicated. Hey, Autumn. It's complicated. I would say it definitely is its own sort of syncretic take on it. There's... Fundamentally, these characters are in the game in the service of telling the story that we're in. And they play a lot of fast and loose with interpersonal relationships and what I would consider the canon, which is not actually from Greece. It's from the Roman Ovid, my favorite poet, in his work Metamorphoses. But it's very good for learning like the personalities of gods and stuff, but sometimes the individual stories are what I would consider very interesting takes on an old classic, but they're not the story. Like,
So far as we can tell, no
they're
trace of
not.
monstrosity remains. The deed is done. Typhon is dead.
Yeah.
My lord husband has been premature to declare victory before, so I shall not believe a word of this until I hear it from your lips. Perhaps not even then.
The father of all monsters is undone. Not merely dead, but eradicated, using the power of the Titan of Time and a bit of assistance from Father's favored spear, Gygaros.
You hear that, Heredia? I told you young Maninui was searching
We
for Vale on our
won.
behalf.
Well, this. We still gotta go and beat the old man.
With a common purpose.
When you say in ancient Greece they believed in these gods was just destroy them.
In troubled times.
The stories of these gods were sincerely held religious beliefs that were... The way we see them now is not how the people then would have seen them. How we think of these stories as happening, or of Zeus being a thing, like, or Athena or anybody else, like, they believed in their gods. Our understanding of them is much narrower and shallower than theirs would have been. Their storybook characters to us, they would not have been to the people that went to the temples, that stood there at the feet of the statues, that gave their sacrifices on the altar. Yeah, I mean, certainly. Now you would have people that might have believed or not believed in the literal stories, just as you might have now, but there's no indication that they were just like, these are cool stories. Like they thought that the gods were looking out for them, or at least many of them did.
We tend the weak, so that mortal lives
Socrates famously, one of the charges against him was like corrupting the youth against properly believing in the gods and such.
If you had not believed in me, Queen Hera, then perhaps Typhon would have been here in my stead. So thank you all. And now an even greater victory is within reach.
The Titan Kronos.
But they would have like a specific temple might be you would call it a cult in like an anthropological context. You would have like the cult of Demeter at some specific place, and they might worship what we call like an aspect of the gods. So like Zeus is a great example to use here. Zeus is the father of the gods, blah blah blah. Zeus is the god of lightning and thunder and stuff. He's also that's Zeus, the lightning god. Zeus is also the god who hears oaths and holds people to oaths. That one's called Horkios. Zeus Horkios is what you would say there. Zeus is also the god of meeting places. Zeus Agora. I don't speak Greek, I just know these off the top of my head on account of reading books. So Zeus could be worshipped by, say, a group of merchants, and they would be worshipping him as Zeus Agora, and say, someone who deals in contracts might have a little statue of Zeus Horkios on his desk. It's still Zeus, but how they would be thinking of it is like, this isn't the Zeus that does the lightning stuff, that's not who this is. But Greek mythology came first, and the Romans, it's called subsuming, where you just sort of like roll over it like a tectonic plate and absorb it. Basically, the Romans said, these gods are the same as ours, and we're going to absorb it, and since your stories are better, we're mainly going to graft on the names.
The Deathless cannot be destroyed unless they threaten the very
I'm like getting totally off of the fact that I just beat the game. But I love books, they're like my whole thing.
And yes, that's fine. The Titan's forces may grow far more desperate now, a possibility for which we ought prepare. We shall lend you all the strength we can for your own final assault. Come back soon.
But it's sort of like a interesting hopping around. So the Greek stories were grafted in. So like when you have like Roman poets talking about Jupiter, they're talking about Zeus. Yeah, that was the final boss of this climb. There's 2 final bosses, and yeah, we already did it. Now I'm just standing around. This is not like where you spend your time. This is the post-victory place. So we're hanging around listening to Apollo sing, which actually is great, right? Because it feels very satisfying.
One encouraging result can often spur another, and perhaps all of you shall have a brief reprieve. I'm certain you could use it.
But so my favorite poet, Ovid, was a Roman poet. He's been dead some 2,000 years now or so. But he wrote a work called Metamorphoses. It's a very long epic poem, and in it is what we often would think of as the stories of Greek mythology. Very often his versions, due to him being a very great poet, and writing in a sort of like episodic style, it lends itself to being like, this is the story of the myth of Narcissus and Echo, who show up in this game. But see, Ovid put Narcissus and Echo together. No one, that's not a Greek thing. Narcissus, yes. Echo, yes. Narcissus and Echo was Ovid seeing, because he's a genius, that this guy who's obsessed with himself and this nymph that repeats are the perfect marriage in story.
Return to Shadow now.
Stuff like Artemis sicking the dogs on the guy that she turned into a deer. He didn't make that up, but his is the best version of it. His version of the myth of the seasons and Demeter searching for Persephone and stuff, that's a traditional story. His version's the best one of it. So it's like a Roman writing hundreds of years after these stories happened, writing an incredibly perfect take on how to poetically tell the stories. Think of it as the equivalent of, if you're familiar with Paradise Lost by John Milton, there's like already the idea in Christian theology and stuff of this story, but he told it so well that now when people think of the war in heaven, they are thinking about Paradise Lost. He didn't make that up, but he did it so well, and poets can do that. Poets can do that. Dante did it with the idea of hell, very famously, in his work Inferno, and which much less influential than Purgatorio or Paradiso.
He's cagey with his words, but does seem to remember you in turn.
Your understanding goes as far as what God of War does? God of War is, I think, a much more... I didn't play it myself, but it's been explained to me. It's much more a jumping off point into sort of the great beyond, where some of these personalities are attached, but it's not like teaching you any of the stories.
Weird of you to do that, especially since it sounds
Whereas
like
what you
he's trying
get,
to kill your family up there, but thanks.
what you get in Hades is often little oblique references in your conversations where, like, if you're in the know, you're like, oh, they're referencing that thing, you know. Hephaestus said that about his mom because she threw him off a mountain. But you don't, like, really pursue that line, right? Like, it's not the story of how Hera threw Hephaestus off a mountain because he wasn't pretty.
And such, and that neither are you. And asked I tell you so on his behalf. Before attacking me, per usual, of course.
But, like, I swear I'm going to start playing the game again soon. I just love talking about this stuff. It's my favorite thing. Because, like I said, Ovid's my favorite poet, so...
We're talking stomach aches, heartaches, taxation, lying, cheating.
I don't know if you can see through my head, but there's a lot of books. They're not for decoration. I read them all the time.
It's utter nonsense, but
I quote them at people.
What he could have meant?
When I died in my Minecraft world the last time on day 334 on hardcore, I made everybody listen to me read Hamlet. Does English mythology exist? Yeah, absolutely. But you would be thinking of it, you would call it like Celtic mythology, right? Generally, or even like stuff like the Arthur myth, which is, I mean, French, really. But yeah, but I would, you like English as such, it would be more like mythology is a specific kind of word that means folklore from a long time ago, from a culture that no longer is dominant, right? So, because Greek religious adherents didn't take over the world, we call it mythology. But it's really... I'm getting all academic about it, which is important to take a certain, like, because the word means specific things. But, like, whenever I say I'm into it, like, you'll often hear me say, I like Greek classical literature. And then I say, and mythology, to let people know, like, what I mean. But I would say no mythology exists. That's my I've been to college, but, you know, not for this subject thing. Mythology doesn't exist. Mythology is a way that we talk about stuff in the past that we don't believe in, that we would talk about a different way if we did believe in it. So, just like how I would say, like, you know, to use the example of the oldest religion, right? Hinduism. I wouldn't I might accidentally call it like Hindu mythology, but it's not. Like, these are the religious traditions of the Hindu people. But if somehow Hinduism hadn't lasted so long and we had all the stories, we would look at them as myth, right? But with a huge number of current adherents, like, it's like about, because academically you don't describe it in that way because it's not precise, right? Because there's no difference between Greek mythology and Hindu mythology, except there aren't hundreds of millions of people that believe in Greek myth anymore. And that's basically where the dividing line is. You know, it's not like an inherently disrespectful word, I wouldn't say, but it sort of carries with it those ideas of, like, not taking it as seriously, and, like, you know, I don't want to get all preachy about it, but, like, the pagans of Europe were slain, right? Like, they didn't just disappear. Something happened to them. A lot of people happened to them.
As the three fates had planned.
And so it's like, and when we call their belief systems myths, it's like another way of forgetting that they were just as sincere about what they believed as anybody is today about something that they would bristle at being called, you know, a fairy tale or whatever. But just like not like, and I wouldn't say that there's like a moral load on using the words, but just like, that's why you can get a 10-minute response out of me when you ask that question, because I'm like, that's probably not what I meant, but now I got to say it because I was thinking about it. Celtic mythology, I would say it's about what all mythology is about. It's about finding a way to spiritually explain the phenomenon of the natural world that cannot be explained through other means. You have, you know, so you would have spirits, you know, it's not like an animism, so you wouldn't expect to see like a stream spirit or a tree spirit or whatever. But
before I depart,
they yeah, you know, there would it would just be,
if Kronos is destroyed before all this, what exactly happens to us here and now?
like, I know more about like the Irish myth there I am again, yeah, than I do about like Celtic stuff. I don't think so. The thing about the Celts is, just like I was saying earlier,
This is not goodbye.
what were the Celtic stories?
Task is at hand. Go. End this.
We don't have any of them. We don't have them, I don't think. So, and the Norse is a great example of this too. The Norse stuff was written down not by sincere believers. It was written down hundreds of years after the fact, after the last pagan had been slain. The stories were written down. So what we have is probably not exactly what they would have believed, right?
I'll take it.
But I would say that
Hey.
It's finally time. Death to Kronos.
all right. So this is the board where you like activate abilities. The thing is like we have a very specific setup because we get a couple based on not having any more of them. But Did the real Vikings, like the real Norse that invaded England, believe in Norse? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like the Lindisfarne reign and everything. Yeah, I mean, but it's one of those things, right? Like they believed in it, but the common conception of what those beliefs would have entailed is not accurate. And even among experts, it might be wildly different. So back to the Celtic thing, is the same thing with the Norse. We do not have their stories. We have a version of their stories written by people in the future. I'm an American. I don't know what country you're from, but just imagine this for you. Like, so in school, we learned American history. You know, America was founded some 250 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Britain, I actually know a bunch of this stuff, but is it really what happened? Like, not to put it like who knows history, but like, how much do I, a guy who's read like 100 books about this specific American history subject, who's read the letters of presidents and everything, you're from England, okay, yeah. So like, even if you had a time that you were interested in, how much is really going to be accurate? So like, and that's what we have of the Norse. We have coins, we have the testaments of the people that hated them. We have burial data, we have statuary, we have inscriptions, but we don't have their books. We have the books written by other people. We have the Edda, but like the younger Edda was written by Snorri Sturluson, who lived in Iceland way after the last pagan was gone. All right, so we are going to take the aspect of Selene. We're gonna take this sweet jetpack. So there's some sweet jetpacks in this game, and we're gonna use one of them. All right. Yes. All right. So. Oh, I guess. Oh, we can't even go up again because like we have to beat the game. Got it. Well, we're not gonna take the axe down for this. We're gonna. I'm like. Do I don't know. We could take the axe. Could we get to 4? Could we get to 4 and still definitely do it? I mean, 1 out of time would be easy. Yeah, we can just level up the enemies a lot. That'd be fine. And that would give us there. Yeah. I'm sure that'll be okay. Alright, so I will only be able to talk in certain moments. Alright, we're all ready to roll. We're all ready to roll. So this axe, you throw the cast down, and then you throw that, and then it explodes. It's very nice. I probably should put on the Apollo boon rather than the piggy bank.
Very well.
Yes, the history is written by the victors. A very important thing to note and insightful, but the thing is, too, is these are histories that were not written by the victors. They were written hundreds of years after the victory. And that has a very small chance of being accurate.
He unleashed Typhon, but he thought wrong. Let's throw everything we've got at him and finish this, Sunshine.
Oh, he called me Sunshine. He loves me. All right, special in a larger area. Yes, please. This is what we want.
Now.
It gets it all the way done. Clean. All right, nectar. Yes, please. This is going to give us a level up because the nectar all gives pomegranate slices. And if you only have one thing, you know it goes to the best one. Of course, man, you forget how weak Act 1 is when you've been going to Olympus for a while. Of course, some of these people are from Act 2, but we've got enough punch to get through it.
It's over. Another figment.
Yeah, it's like... History is written by the victors as a way of saying, like, it will serve the narrative of whoever is telling the story because they won. And that's an important observation, but another observation is that, like, even if the other people wrote history, it also may not be accurate. Special does more damage. Does it work on the Omega attack? Maybe not. We take the Hermes boon over the HP, because I don't think we need the HP to have a successful life here, right? Boom, baby. Yeah, it's not only that the telling of history can be manipulated, it's that there is no way to talk about the past free of bias, and no way to talk about it accurately, because every source you have is going to be selected based on what you call a historiographical paradigm. The way you're choosing, so like an archaeologist will look at a certain thing to explain a society, and the other stuff will exist, but to them, it won't be as important. Alright, so faster attacks and stuff, or big dodge. Big dodge. Can we buy anything cool? No. Yeah. The thing, like, by acknowledging bias, we can attempt to sort of inoculate ourselves against it, right? Simply by knowing that we're not going to do a great job, a perfect job at looking at a source and identifying it helps us stay humble. It's hard to remember when you're learning about something that's like, these people believed this. That what that's saying is saying, this is like 1 million people and they lived here, and have you ever met 1 million people? They're not all the same. But for our purpose, we try to distill it down into stuff we can learn. The Mongolians are all X, or the people of the Kievan Rus were all Y, or the Grand Duchy of Lithuania believed this and that, and these people went to this church. But, like, that'll get you as far as you can throw it. It's good to know these facts, but it just seems like, you know...
Not good enough, huh?
It's important to... Oh, I should have went to that door. It's important to remember, yes, that even if you try your best, you will never be able to know the truth about the past.
Gray-eyed Athena, as wise and calculating as they say. To think she's supposedly the sensible one.
So how far can truth be then? The more you try to generalize something, the more confounds you have. If you want to say, this is a guy and he was an emperor at such and such a date, you have numismatic evidence. Numismatic means coins. Unless it doesn't. So it actually got turned into a spider from Athena. That's the subtext here.
She must really have her hands full, holding back the Titans' armies gathered at the mountain's base.
The universe and the gulf of the past are much wider than our views of it. Put another way, how well can you know the mind of a man or a woman by reading everything they ever wrote? Say they wrote diaries, and you read all of them. Well, you would know a lot about them, but you would know what they chose to write down, because even in that, the most personal of circumstances, a book written for yourself and not anybody else. What if people found it? How could they know the truth about you from that book? I bring up this is an example because of this book right here, The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, my favorite emperor of Rome. Alright, making me money. It'll only have 10 durability, so we'll just need to not take any damage. Oh, and we've already ran out of it. You know, I don't like the Arachne Room because I'm not good enough at the game to hold on to it. Oh, man, and then we lose it immediately. You know, you can just use it as a, this is free armor, which is very good when you have lower HP totals and everything.
Now the Titan Kronos is our solitary goal. Show him no more mercy than the monster he
But if it's like, how far could the truth be about like this stuff right here? Interview Vampire? Yes, wonderful, wonderful. You have a primary source who has a specific, mysterious, vested interest in presenting themselves in a way. See, Marcus, in this book that he wrote that for himself. He never gave it to anyone. He didn't publish it. We found it in a very cool way. We found it, though. Do we take attack for freeze? Or just boon rarity and boost up the special a ton? I don't think attack for freeze matters that much. The earlier we get this, the cooler it'll be, right? Freeze is good. But yes, people, you know, it bears repeating, but like people are often very self-serving. So if you're saying, oh, well, we got this primary source, but, you know, like, if you've ever heard of Goodfellas, it's based on, you know, it's based on a book that was written by a guy who interviewed the guy. Who knows how much of it was true? A lot of it, sure. Catch Me If You Can was a book written based on, like, I think it was a book, but it was a film based on the reminiscences of a con man, and I believe a large number of it was just made up, which you could sort of expect when it's a book written by a con man. But say you're sorry taking me for playing away the game too much? Nah, I mean, I love talking about stuff. And this is a game where you often don't have a lot to talk about in the middle of it. And anyway, if we die from time, that would be embarrassing. But we shouldn't. You basically always have enough time with this time clock on you. And most of the time when I'm talking, you're in rooms where the clock doesn't tick down for whatever reason. Dual boon here. We'll make Demeter mad. Cast for days. No, we want this for expiring ones so that we can do it. The cast for days is very good. A Demeter cast would be lovely too, though.
Know that it was lost on me entirely.
These god fight rooms, as I call them, where you have to pick one and then one of them gets mad at you based on what you picked and tries to freeze you. You know, like they didn't show up for a super long time. I expected them earlier, but I must have done like 50 runs before they ever showed up. And she's gonna be like, "Oh, I can't stay mad at you."
You weathered the storm.
Godfather, yeah. So The Godfather is based on the book by Mario Puzo. I've read all these books, but yeah, Luca Brasi, who my bird in Minecraft is, which I do stream and stuff, is named Luca for Luca Brasi, and all right, we will take Spread for Gust. Yeah, why don't we just get the freeze, whatever. The freeze effect is fine, and the fact that it's not very rare is fine too. And hopefully our rarity will increase something else. And if it hits that, that'll be alright. Alright, so here we can get the Hex and the Zeus Boon. So what do we get?
The boatman Charon is familiar with every twisted pathway through.
But yeah, but Luca was the guy on set. And in The Sopranos, I think they had a dude who was like connected-ish. And he wasn't like a member, right? But I don't think Luca was a member. He was just like an associate, you know. It's different. But Morph Projectile, Make Me Impervious, or Jump Up and Slam. I guess we can take the Impervious thing.
Together we shine.
And maybe get like a boosted thing. Alright, casts for Lightning Bolts. Yeah.
Hello, granddaughter.
But like, so an associate is just like a person that you're cool with and you do a thing. A soldier is like the level up from that, and then a maid guy is the level up from that. But like, at least if I remember my parlance right, I don't think associate and soldier are like the same general rank or whatever. But you know, these are all like 40 or 50-year-old mafia things. I mean, the Godfather even older than that. And I don't think they had such a thing. But yeah, but I think like in the news that you're like called like a whatever family associate is just like if you've seen The Sopranos, like the guy who owns the restaurant would be like an associate, I think, probably. You know, anyone who's like monetarily involved, even.
Headmistress! Headmistress, fight him! Fight! Fight back!
But yeah, but Luca in The Godfather, where he's rehearsing, they kept that in because he was so nervous about getting the lines right because he wasn't an actor.
Considerable knowledge to have thus concealed you, but she is weary. Subject time caught up with her at last. She hears not a word you say.
Unhand her, wretch. Unhand her, or I'll tear you to...
So this doesn't normally happen.
My own children tore me to pieces once before. Look what that got them. Whoever this is, perhaps she shall be more cooperative than you.
Kronos doesn't even know who Hecate is?
Nor should you be.
That's amazing.
Good evening.
Come back.
Okay, so we don't do the boss fight this time. Wild. Okay, well, so this is the only time, you know, obviously we just got the item for this final run. So is there mythology for most countries? Yeah, absolutely. Every country has what I would call mythology without, like, the big, you know, qualifier. But yeah, absolutely. It can just be, like, folk heroes. So, like, American mythology of, like, the United States of America, you can think of, like, the legend of John Henry or Paul Bunyan. These are folklore stories, but we would call them myth later on. You know, Johnny Appleseed, if you've ever heard of these guys, I'm saying them like you would know. So Paul Bunyan had a giant blue ox, and he was a lumberjack. And John Henry thought he was better at being a real... Never mind. I don't want to be dismissive. These are very cool stories. Now, we could have verified the Apollo boon. We didn't. What we want to do now is... I don't know. We actually have the Evil Eye for the Kronos fight, which is awesome. We'll take that instead of the Luckier Tooth, because he's the last person that's popped us. We've been winning all of our fights. We can take the gold? We can take the crystal. Yeah, we've already got the boons that we need, sort of, so we can take this and, yeah, alright. The timer doesn't count down here. So you said, I had 9 minutes on the clock. It took, you know, 3.5, but we didn't have to do the boss fight. But yeah, and then, you know, like, when depending on the age of a country, a national hero would be essentially like mythology, but you wouldn't classify it like that. Like, I love Mongolian culture and history and stuff. Always basically have. So, like, Temujin Genghis Khan, most people would call him, he was definitely a real guy. Like, he was 100% a real guy, and we know a whole lot about what happened, but there's always an element of where you're getting the story from. And we'll give Chaos a nectar here.
Such a strange journey your creations take, Almighty Chaos. This particular
Hey, Froggy.
creature, for instance, formed after untold eons, only to find its way back to you.
We're gonna say Greek and Roman is the most information we have on our mythology. Yeah, basically, and also they were a fruitful place because of their place in European culture. For you know, like when the Renaissance happened, these were the stories that appealed to people to retell. These were the cultures whose artifacts you could see, whose bones of the temples you could witness when you went there. So there was a deeply romantic feeling about them. So the stories get told and retold, right? The works of Shakespeare very often are tellings of Greek and Roman mythology, or stuff out of Metamorphosis of Ovid, like I'm talking about. Romeo and Juliet is Pyramus and Thisbe, and specifically it is Pyramus and Thisbe as told in Ovid, with an amazing, you know, bit of additions there. But yeah, it's, I would say it's the most information we have on a mythology that we call mythology. Certainly we have more information about, say, the tenets of Hinduism, which I bring up before because it is so old. And it has a lot in common because it's polytheistic, it's got huge regional centers that would have believed in very different ways. You know, the Hindu gods, as a person who isn't familiar at all with them, you might think, like, okay, everybody just sort of believes in all of them or whatever, but, like, in the North and the South, especially, like, 1,000 years ago, you know, it would have been really different. Exactly, Ron. You know, you can have different opinions about historical figures or religious historical figures that drastically color the future of how people perceive things, right?
The father of all monsters
Look at all of the bloody wars of the Reformation in Europe if you need proof positive of how a different take on something can lead to significant strife.
You could have chosen the destruction of Olympus. Nonetheless, I understand why you did not. The power to unmake creations such as that. I would be curious to learn it for myself, although perhaps I would not use it sparingly.
Froggy, you say if I've ever done Games with Furies? No, I have not. Probably wouldn't. Alright, would take a bunch of special damage? That's terrible. Whenever I take damage, I get stunned for a second, and then I do more special damage. This might be the end of the run. This fountain could be very bad, but we're just gonna try it anyway, because a bunch of special damage would be great. And here's everybody's favorite. Look, guys, it's Narcissus. The Crusades would sort of be an example, but that was, you know, although some of them were what you would call internecine, or Nicene, I don't know how to say it. You know, principally it was about two differing religious groups that sort of came from one heritage fighting, rather than one religious group with one heritage that split fighting. The Shia Sunni split in Islam would be the example for that sector of the world, just like the Protestant Catholic Orthodox split would be the example for the other heritages.
Staring into those waters, especially in a place like this.
Lonely? I don't know the meaning of the word. I have the best company you could ever ask for. Me.
Alright, so we can get max HP. Might as well do this. That's more important than max MP, because we've got the tie-in boon to where when we drop the cast and break it, we get our mana back basically instantly, which is all we need. Oh no, oh, that's all we need. We need to take a whole second of a stun because I forgot that was on because I've been talking. Oh, right. That turns my abilities off. And then I got stunned when it ended. I am going to be sanguine about it. This game is, this is like the final run for the story. It's a roguelite set in Greek mythology. So, you, in this game, we're the child of Hades and Persephone, and they are locked away by Kronos, the Titan of Time. And we've grown up with Hecate, the Witch of the Crossroads, to destroy him. So for like 20 years, we've been training, and we fight every night to try to beat him. And sometimes we lost a lot, and sometimes we won less. And then basically we leveled up stuff and you get more powerful over time, and now we're going to try to vanquish him forever and save our family. Special also launches a fireball but uses more mana. That's not perfectly ideal. I'm sorry I took that hex, actually. We should have chosen one that wouldn't turn off our abilities whenever it was active. I guess we could take this. Little fireball's okay. There's a book by Dr. Seuss called The Butter Battle Book. And in the Butter Battle Book, there are two groups of people, and they are bitterly opposed to each other. One group of people eats their bread with the butter side up, right? And the other group eats their bread with the butter side down. This is the sum of the difference between them. And they get into a bitter arms race that could very well lead to what's the metaphor of nuclear brinksmanship there, and could lead to the whole dissolution of their society based on this very small difference. It does not take anything at all to make groups of people revel in hatred, unfortunately. All you really need is to see that someone else has a little bit more than you, and that will be enough for people to make an excuse about why they want to take it. And that is, that's my truth for you today. Disputes between people are about power. The thing they are arguing about is not what they are arguing about. It's about power. Especially when armed conflict is involved. That doesn't mean that one side can't be right and the other side can't be terribly wrong, but all of the moralizing you'll hear is there to obscure that somebody is trying to get rich off of a war. And there's your old man knowledge for the day. Bread and butter is nice. And the Butter Battle Book is one of my very favorite Dr. Seuss books. Alright, so we're gonna reroll here and get faster Omega moves. Yes, please. Because the Axe Special does that thing, but what we do is that, and that's where the money comes from. Here we take Demeter over money because we need to clear this Chaos Boon. Oh no, are we going to be at the boss fight with this Chaos Boon uncleared? Oh no, you're joking. This is going to be really rough. It's going to be really rough. So this Chaos Boon, every time we get hit, we get frozen in place for a full second.
And one should think wiser. Although our frequent bickering and inaction suggest otherwise.
Well, I don't actually know if the boss is going to be here.
We are a strong-willed family, as you know perfectly.
I don't actually know if they'll be there. Because the first boss wasn't.
That sort of consensus is not always quick, though we each could do our part to hasten it along.
Freeze effects also cause lightning bolts to repeatedly strike afflicted foes. Yes, please. The good news is that our build has very punchy AoE stuff, so we should be able to burn down Scylla and those sirens pretty well, but we might be taking hits. Nope, we gotta do the fight. So you're in for such a treat. If you haven't seen this before, this is Scylla and the Sirens. They're a band.
I'm not particularly interested in listening to your delusions of grandeur right now, so why not start your little song?
Oh, I hope they play I'm Gonna Claw.
Oh, it may be a little song to you now, lady, but it's going to be huge someday. You'll see.
I don't want to finish the fight so fast because I want to hear the song, but if we're getting stunned, we're going to need to put some damage in it. Yeah! No, 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 I got stunned. Oh, man, this is going to be rough. Yeah, I got to do this quick or I'm going to lose a bunch of stocks. Oh, no, no, no. When you take out the drummer, it goes, so you can't hear, there's like a sick double kick drum going on. And now, you know, she gets taken out a little bit because, you know, she's there. But yeah, this is their first song. This isn't their awesome final boss song of I'm Gonna Claw. Alright, so we just need to finish this up. We still got plenty of hit points. I'm worried about dying. I'm like, wait, they just do like a little bit of damage. This is Act 1. Or Act 2. This is Chapter 1. Oh, man. But anyway, so you knock out the drummer. And again, when you're weaker, the fight lasts a lot longer. But their other song, she wrote it for us. It's called "I'm Gonna Claw Out Your Eyes and Drown You to Death," and it's so much better than the first one, which I do like. Have I played any vampire games before? And we got Judgment and the Swift Runner. Alright, so this is pretty cool. So Judgment's going to let us get a couple of free cards after the next bout. That's going to get us a lot stronger. And the Swift Runner, that's just going to, that's just going to let us run fast. So that's good too. But, I'm trying to think. I'm like, maybe not really. What are some vampire games? I have Vampire Survivors, but I haven't played it yet. And here, we get rid of the piggy bank. Do we take that? No, it's not leveled on yet. We can just take the coin purse. Or star upgrade. Let's take star upgrade. Like I've played games where a character was a vampire. I've played, like runs of Skyrim and stuff, and where I'm a vampire, but I don't think that's what you mean. All right, so here we are in the morning fields. We are so strong. We need to fight Cerberus for our 4 heat prize. I call it heat because that's what the stat was called in the last game. And we're hoping that the hammer gives us, something wonderful. Of course we are. I have not played those. But I think I have Vampire Masquerade on the wish list, but yeah. Alright, I should have hit the tree. The tree will lead us to where to go. Yes. And maybe we can make this ability better here. Alright, so... Oh no, we don't have a godsend thing. Alright, well then. All of these seem so bad. I guess we have the benefit of this giving you... We could just take the dodge. Because, like, it makes you invulnerable. It makes you invulnerable, but it's not, like, good, you know? You don't get to use your attacks, so you're super weak. Well, Total War, there are not Oh, well, I guess... I'm like, they're not vampires. Yes, there actually are vampires in Total War, and I love them. There's the vampire counts, which are like normal vampires, and they have the vampire coasts, which are like vampire pirates, and they're both very cool factions. I do think vampire stuff is cool. I guess I played more zombie games, but I also guess there are more zombie games. They're easier to make, you know, passively because, you know, bad AI can be disguised as zombie stuff, right? Like, oh, I meant to make it bad. You see, the zombies don't know what they're doing. My favorite Total War... Let's see, we'll take this just for the prophecy. My favorite Total War is Warhammer. I mean, like, you know, I've played more 2 than of 3 or of 1. I mean, 3's the best though. But I recently started playing Total War 3 Kingdoms and I adore it. It's wonderful. But I didn't play any of the historical ones, not like extensively. Like, you know, like, I played Rome at my buddy's house back in the day because his dad had it, but I didn't have it on, like, the family computer, so I didn't play it, really. And 3 Kingdoms is as close I've gotten to a historical one, but Shogun of the Gold, there's a bunch of say vampire, exactly, because, and you know, a vampire would be stalking you. A vampire has like force multipliers. You know, a vampire would be very punishing. You know, you do zombies, you got like Resident Evil stuff. Do I wear beanies when it's cold? You're hoping to make a Warhammer 40k Total War? I would love that. I play 40k. Well, I collect 40k, and I've played 40k years ago. All right, so we need to get either Extra Dose, Supernova, Backburner, or Prominence Flare. Because I like this on Sprint, but we need Extra Dose so that we can get the legendary thing for a double throw for double damage. So this is going to let us get towards that. Having the list that tells you the dependencies, they make you unlock it. I really wish it was in the game already. But yes, no, I would love it if they made a 40k Total War. I hope they would do a good job if they did. But we'll probably be playing Three Kingdoms Total War tonight, because after this run, unless we die, that should be the last run we do this. Not like ever, just like for the session. You know, we'll finish up the story or whatever, or as much as we can. But so if we wanted to get it, it's not the cheapest thing for someone in university. Yeah, you know, it's pricey, isn't it? It's not like Warhammer 40k. The models are so expensive. Oh my god. But Total War is very pricey, even on sale, you know. But, you know, often you can get them on, you know, you can get big sales. The first 2 games, if you get them, they give you access to a ton of factions in 3. But, I mean, you know, yeah, I mean, it's more than $100 to get access to everything. I just now finished buying all the DLC in 3, because you know, there's tons of factions I haven't played. I have, I think, 1,500 hours in Total War Warhammer now. And there's still, like, legendary lords that I've never played. Alright, so cast for a gust. Yeah, love it. Here, we definitely want double boon over that other room. But yeah, but the thing is for like Total War, like if your computer can run like Warhammer, right, you don't need all the content. Just getting the first 3 games will give you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay. But really just getting the 3rd one, even though I'd honestly be very bummed to not have access to some of the factions that are my favorites in the game, even just getting the baseline 3rd game with no DLC would give you hundreds of hours of gameplay. Freeze attacks last longer? Yeah, baby. 4 seconds. The freeze effects, like, they even affect, like, mini-bosses and bosses to some extent. They slow them down. And mini-bosses, they'll just freeze in their... Or, like, armored foes, they'll just freeze them in their tracks. And they could be scary. I mean, I say that. This is Chapter 1, you know, Act 1. No, Chapter, yeah. Like, I'm not sure. They don't divide them that way. But this is, you know, the Olympus run that you saw us do earlier. That was harder than this was, but, you know, I'm confident that the final battle is going to be different, souped up or whatever in some way. Or maybe not. Maybe everyone's going to come down and we're going to, like, Earthbound them, right? We're going to Power of Friendship and Magic take them out. Say your uncle plays this kind of games but hates spoilers. See, yeah, I totally get it. I'm an old person, right? I'm 39. Back in my day, it's always fun to start sentences like that. But back in my day, you know, when you bought a game, you got the whole game, and maybe there would be like an expansion, but it wasn't like every 3 or 6 months. You know, it was long before the era of live service, which does enable us to get a lot more content and stuff, but it's its own very ugly set of practices, right? Or it feels that way to a consumer, you know? It often feels like, you know, this could have been part of it, or, you know, you're nickel and diming me. In Warhammer, like, they make you pay for the blood in the DLCs, I think, you know, like that kind of thing. Whenever we use this, random foe gets struck by lightning, yes. Zoo Spoon or Charon. We take another Zoo Spoon because we can't afford anything at the Charon shop. And it's a free boon. Lightning bolts may strike twice. I mean, yeah. Seems good. And now it's Serby. Only issue is Warhammer is you feel like you unlock all your units for the game. Yeah, it suffers from the early game being the most fulfilling time to play, but the problem there is that that's a problem of expertise. The better you get at the game, the quicker that happens to you. A player that doesn't know what they're doing is going to have the best time failing, you know? A new player would never play like me unless they looked up. I mean, I don't even play in like a cheesy way, but like a new player would play slower. They wouldn't know how to play on the map. They would take more losses. They wouldn't know how to leverage replenishment. You know, there would be a lot of stuff. It's so much damage. This impervious thing just stinks, right? I shouldn't have taken it. Maybe it could be good. I was like, oh, it'll get the bonuses. I should have just went with the jump or something. I mean, it does make you invulnerable, which is incredibly good, right? It would be better if you had something like a Hestia boon, right? Where you load a bunch of Scorch on, and then you do that, you're like, haha, you can't catch me. I am a man made out of gingerbread. Or like, oh, they're gonna do that big move, I can't get out in time. But you know, the thing that lets you get a ton of armor is even better than all that. I'm like, is he not out yet? There we go. So just get high tier troops. Yeah, that's the thing, is like a lot of factions could get even low tier troops that do really, really well. Yeah, get yourself into Carney King. It's all about early aggression, and like you got to learn personalities of the foe. And we turn on all of these cards. Oh yeah, wonderful stuff. That is because of this card called Judgment. Now, these cards are all passive abilities, and they range from very strong to super strong. Like me getting extra lives when I die, that's a card. You know, start the game with extra lives. But this card here, you can only activate so many, and then it'll like line them up and activate them as you go. But I didn't want to be weaker at the start or whatever, you know. But we got it through a different keepsake, so now it activated a bunch of things, which makes us nice and strong for the finish. Because normally you would only have like 5 cards and that one, and then by the end you would have like all of them. But have I played League of Legends? No, I have not. I played like one time years ago, and people were super mean to me, and not like in a, you know, I mean, I get that the game is what it is, but I was just like, man, I don't even want to play this. But I don't really play multiplayer games against people anymore. I think here we take the Kronos thing over the Tooth. Yeah, we're going to take the Evil Eye, the Nemesis Eye. We'll slay Kronos with that. And here we will get greater rarity, sure. We could sell one of these things, like Steady Growth, just because it's done its work. You know, it's made some of these things rarer over time, and that's good. Like, I don't even know where it's at on the list. Anyway. But we could probably get another rarity or thing, and you know, it's not worth the money, right? Right. Long time of thinking.
to do this. I have to do this.
Yes, Belinui, you have to do this. You have no choice. Everybody's counting on you, girl. But no, I know people that play League, and I have friends that play it, and nephews that play it.
She is heading for the house again. Stop her.
I sometimes will play games and like not have a good time, but I try to identify it and not play them a lot. It seems like League players don't mind if they hate the game they're playing. No, that's overgeneralizing. I get it's about the love of the game and competition and stuff. No, if I wanted to play a competitive game and try to get good at it, I would probably play competitive Total War. I love Total War competitive. I don't play. I've never played a game ever of Total War competitive, not even one across the whole thing. I have watched thousands of hours of it. There's a caster. I basically only watch one guy. He's called Turin. He doesn't know who I am. I'm just a big fan. But he's got, I don't know how many subs now, like 150k, something like that. But he casts tournaments that he organizes and competitive matches and stuff, and I watch him all the time. And I would love to be good at the game, but I'm not. I'm like super bad. I just like it a lot.
Why, thank you.
Whenever we first deal damage to susceptible foes, you may destroy them outright. A 25% chance to blow somebody up. We're taking it. I've never had this before that I remember. You say you really want to know how to play Empire, but it's so confusing. Yeah, Empire's tricky. The Elspeth campaign, if I can plug my own thing, I had a couple campaigns where I failed to play Elspeth, and then I had a campaign where I played on hard, but I did end up getting a victory. And on the offhand chance that you want to check them out, you know, love to have a view on the old VODs in there. But you won't learn how to play Empire or any Total War correctly from me. Because, wow, yeah, that's so good. A 25% chance to just pop them. And it's the first time, you know, it's per foe on the battlefield, so it's not like each time you hit them, but that's still really good. But yeah, Empire's tricky. But Elspeth is so overpowered that it's just a beautiful campaign. More damage to foes, nowhere near other foes. Let's look at the offerings here. Like, I don't even think we have... Yeah, we don't have anything to get out of her for re-rolling. Because we don't have any of the stuff that ties in with Hestia's duo boons, so we'll just take Snuffed Candle here. But a lot of Empire is just in learning how to use handgunners properly, because they are... Most factions have, you know, a big damage dealer, and if you're not using them or the next best damage dealer, it's really hard. And artillery and ranged are the killers, you know, artillery, ranged, and heroes. And Empire doesn't have that big, strong front line that I love in a faction. And we'll take more damage here. Because I like to use infantry, I like to use like a balanced force, right? That's my ideal thing in Total War. I like to use artillery, I like archers and cav. I want to have guys that are tanky and like guys that are good. I want to have big heroes. And some factions are more conducive to that than others. Like Cathay in Warhammer, which... That's the thing, like, once you find a faction you like, you pretty much feel like, oh man, I gotta get that expansion. Because Cathay, I had fun playing him, but Yonbo, I love him so much. His campaign is amazing, he gives you so much power, and he's a brilliant character, and I just, like... Ever since I played him, I played a Yonbo campaign, and it's basically the next campaign I did was another one, was how psyched I was about it.
The Nightmare Bringer.
So, you know, here, like, the attack, getting the bonus to the attack boon, in a different build, it might be good, right? But our attack build is... It stacks Frost, right? So... Not that this build isn't very cool, it just, you know... we're not getting the synergies out of our stuff. Not that we need it. You know, we've just off of the Apollo boon on the special and the Apollo boon giving us our mana back when the cast gets popped, we have all the bones of the strongest build that you need. Like, when you see that 483 number pop up, that's not a small number in this game. And we once again get a quick time event. Those, I failed the first like 15 of those, but then I did better afterward. But like, but I'm in the middle of a Beastman campaign in Warhammer at the moment, and then also of a Lubu campaign in Three Kingdoms, which is what I'll be playing after this. Because, man, I only got Three Kingdoms a couple weeks ago, or maybe like a month now, I guess. But I love the setting. I'm not like an expert, but I am an enthusiastic lover of the setting, and one of my favorite figures in like in human history is from the setting there, Guan Yu, who's a bodhisattva in Buddhism. Alright, this is a tougher and a guide, and we... Alright, so what we saw there was a special boss character being brought out and given, like, or special mini-boss character and given special abilities, and then he gets one-shot by my 25% chance to one-shot enemies. It certainly won't work on, like, the big bosses, but that is very funny to me. And we'll take more dodging. That's super funny. I was like, alright, get ready for the fight. I was trying to... so you could run into Hades on your trip here, but it looks like we may not get it here. Okay, yeah, so we can, you know, we do... do solid work. Alright, so Chain Lightning doesn't seem that good. Freeze effects, we already have that. Yeah, I think here Divine Vengeance is fine. I mean, Rush for Lightning Bolts, yeah, why not? Might as well get something in the slot, right? Money! I was really hoping to run into the old man here, but maybe we won't. Man, that would really stink. Oh yeah, and these rooms, these fountain rooms, this is another thing that, like, you know, that gets easier. And you get these currencies that you use for other stuff, but... so the fountains you have to unlock. You know, they're not in the game. So there's a lot of ways to make it easier for yourself as you go. Man. You know, the crowd clear, crowd control, the wave clear, the beauty, the peril, the terror. Oh man, it's so good. Because there's plenty of weapons where you don't do such good damage in such big AoE. I really like this axe. One of the strongest things in my opinion. Alright, and we managed to get the Hex entirely empowered.
The limits of my light.
And I still don't think it's any good. But what are you gonna do? There's like a way to make the Hex God Sent where you like imbue it with the power of one of the gods, but you know, each one has just a couple that they can get, and we didn't get either of them. Man, oh man, that's a lot of damage. Oh, beautiful, is it not? Yeah, because, well, at least there, now that the attack boon is on it, extra dose rarefied. I'm like, wow, I can't look at my boons because of the timer? Whatever. But no, I'm always taking stuff in Three Kingdoms, even though I've only played for like 50 hours total, where I'm like, this might not be ideal, but it's about sending a message, you know, I think it's cool. But I still build armies, like, to try to be good, because, you know, you never want to lose. Oh, that game's so cool, because you can, you know, you get the other generals, and you can, because in Warhammer, you know, you're often not fighting people of your culture. You know, the Empire doesn't often fight the Empire, and when you do, you know, like the Greenskins can force confed other Greenskins, but most other factions, you know, like, you don't really have a benefit in fighting them, you know, like that. But in Three Kingdoms, if you fight them repeatedly, you can get them to just join your cause, depending on who they are. Like, after enough time, they'll like you if you keep on beating them, and then they'll just leave to join you, basically no matter who they are, unless they're, like, the people running the faction or their heir. And then after you eliminate the faction, they'll join someone else, and you can still get them. Alright, so we have at least 5. We can never deal less damage than the limit. We have 10. The lightning bolts would become more powerful out of this. These aren't good comparatively, so we'll just get that, I guess. You know, it'll make the lightning bolts slightly stronger. Cast will aim the fireball. Yes. This is a good ability. And now it's time to give Charon a gift of nectar. Charon has been responsible for so much of our power, you know. Half of the stuff you get in this game is because of having money to pay the man.
Your self-indulgences, my lord, but you ought to receive more than mere coin in recompense for all your service. Perhaps the nectar's but another token gesture.
He loves me! Alright. One last time.
Where is she?
Where is she?
What did you call that old witch whom you seem to care about so much? Your headmistress?
I cannot believe Kronos doesn't know who it is.
You value her well-being in the least.
She was my mother's handmaiden, nothing more. When you attacked my
nothing
house,
more.
She took me away.
The Titan.
When I came of age, I vowed to stop you, despite her efforts to dissuade me. Let her go.
At first I thought perhaps that you were a child of Zeus rather than Hades. But you are a terrible liar, granddaughter. You shall suffer for your actions.
Good night, Froggy.
Or the handmaiden shall do so in your stead.
Don't you touch her!
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and of course we've got... You know, that's more damage than I wanted to take there. It's fine. Because we've got the cast now to sink in. And, you know, 25% more damage on the man is good. And now we're gonna, you know, that's nice, because we can just, whenever he does a move we don't understand, you know, maybe it's fine, right? Because, oh, right, now... I didn't even think of that. Because those things did like 20 damage, but now, because of that Zeus boon letting us do 50 at a minimum, all the caster leveled up, every one of the internal things here, instead of doing, you know, instead of doing 20, they do 50. That's pretty good. And that lets us get a couple of thousand out of it. Very nice indeed. You know, we just needed to find a way to make it work, right? Because even though I didn't believe in it, that's fine. You're invulnerable the whole time. Alright, Titan of Time. Let's go, buddy. And I guess there's Evil Eye too, but, you know, it wouldn't get us over where it is because 50 would be the max. Oh, he's healing. Like, why am I spinning there? I started using the wrong ability. Feels bad. It is. The end is at hand. I'm surprised you're so positive about it. Alright, we use the impervious thing. Hit him with the axe! Hit him with the axe, my girl!
Again you lay me low, and again you waste your time. I know what it is you see.
Does he not know that I have the ultimate weapon here?
I know these moments as you run.
That I have gotten the thing? I have no idea how this game is going to end. I do know that you get to keep on playing it after the end in Hades, so I assume...
Truly think the Mirror of Night shall grant you such power. It holds no sway here any longer. You shall see.
Because now we're gonna try to go to the mirror and hand the thing to our brother in the past so he can go and pop Kronos or something.
Now for Zagreus to do his
Yes, now for Zagreus to do his part. 24 minutes and 1 second, you know. We took a little more time than we had to take. A very powerful build. You know, all you gotta do is get Nova Flourish on this axe build, and then everything else will take care of itself. Big damage, big circle, big smash.
Zodiac Sand. Hold on, Headmistress.
And now, so this is the room that our brother lived in Hades. That the main character, your player character. And after you beat it, you crash in the bed and then you go into the mirror. But anyway, if you're going to play this game, then look away now, because this is going to be the culmination of the story, I think. Maybe not. It's the culmination of what I know the story to be up until now. They have not put any hooks in for another zone or anything like that, but there very well be. Because I don't know what's going on in this game, right?
Something must have happened. But then how am I still?
I am thoroughly unspoiled.
Oh, blast! Where is she? When is she? Oh, wait, Melinoe, you've returned. You've no idea how much difficulty I had falling asleep so I could see you here again. So what's the word? Have you prepared the spear?
Take hold of Gygaros and we'll find out. A couple of points first. 1, you'll have to go immediately to where Kronos resides. And 2, our connection with each other shall probably be lost. I'll be counting on you to succeed.
If it flips over and I literally get to play with Zagreus in like a Hades 1 segment for another like 40 hours of gameplay, I'm gonna be the happiest boy in the whole world.
You've nicely asked Grandfather to stand down, that sort of thing.
We're far past level-headed conversation here. I can't imagine you'll be more amenable to persuasion in your time than mine. And as I understand, nicely asking our father if you could leave the underworld had mixed results for you.
Ha 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 ha. He just walks away.
You really think the Spear of Fathers has the power to destroy a deathless Titan?
It shall in just a moment, so hold it close. May earth and night and darkness hear me now. Bring true death for the deathless by my vow. Dissolution of time.
It didn't work.
Gygaros, it's grown hot to the touch.
It did work.
It feels like it's before as well. I suppose I should be careful not to prod somebody with it. Besides Kronos.
Go, Zagreus. I've done everything I can here. And we'll see each other again. Some other time than this, perhaps. But still. For now, farewell.
Goodbye, Melinoe. I hope this works.
What now? What is all that infernal racket? Silence, fools, lest we be caught. Guards! Guards! Guards!
Yeah, my man.
Who comes there? You lack the clothing of the satyrs' hooves, and have a countenance which I know not.
You must be Grandfather. I don't believe we've had the pleasure. I'm called Zagreus. I got a tip about your quite suspicious cabin here and had to go take a look. What are you doing here, if I may ask?
Incorporated. What else would I possibly be doing in a place such as this? So I suppose Hades is to thank for this new grandchild of mine. I never thought that I would see the age when he became a father for himself.
Oh, he's a wonderful father, if you must know. So much so, I have a little sister too, Melinoe. Looks more like our dear mother Persephone, the underworld queen, though has a bit of your son's prickly personality, I think. You'd love her.
Why are you telling me all this?
Why is he telling him all this? I'm like, you're spouting exposition at the village. Stab him. Stab him with the spear. Melinui said to do it right away.
I'm telling you all this because I thought I'd make a little small talk here before I do you in. You would bring pain and suffering.
Don't monologue. No monologuing.
I cannot allow that.
What do you know of my intent? You dare speak to me of pain and suffering? Here I have wrought it since an eon prior to when you were but a twinkle in your father's eye. He is brothers, traitors and usurpers.
They're your children. Look, you don't have to like them all the time, I know I don't. But what of Melinui and me? Are you prepared to sweep us into your old grudge?
I will not. Your father surely has already poisoned you against me. You and your little sister both.
Would I be speaking to you if that were the case? Here's the arrangement. Either take pity on your grandchildren, or take this spear repeatedly. And you won't soon recuperate, I swear.
This is fascinating.
You who threaten me with annihilation have not experienced a world without time. You would have to dearly miss my influence. Nor would my pity do you any good. How exactly would you see it manifest?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps just by being our grandfather rather than sneaking underneath the house in some sort of profane chamber I ought to have known about. Your time. Why don't you extrapolate a bit?
Extrapolate what? A joy-filled life in which Grandfather Time is there to coddle the spoiled children of my murderous son. He shall drive that accursed spear through beyond sight if you do not.
No, because you'll be under my protection. And also, no, it won't just be a joy-filled life, especially if you keep on. But it'll probably be better than whatever this is. Now make your choice already. I don't have all day or night.
Sibling, a future with such grandchildren as you, or the eternal void. How can I possibly decide?
That's it, I'm stabbing you.
All this time, for naught. Perhaps the fates themselves.
That's it, I'm stabbing you. About time you got there, Zag. My man.
2, 1.
Oh.
Ready or not, hence I go.
Okay.
You said yourself Mother could use some rest. Why don't you join her? I can keep... Oh, hello. Well, this is a rare treat. The both of you together in this lounge. What brings you here, Grandfather?
I yet to seek the girl's whereabouts is what. I have turned over this residence in its entirety and found nary a sign. She is already as elusive as you always were, Hades.
That or your old senses have dulled. She went running over there by the head chef, where she yet lingers in silence. Go before her patience wears thin.
What Father meant to say was, no, we've no idea where my good son's little sister is. She could be anywhere. Have you tried checking the administrative chamber?
I do appreciate the hint.
Keep up the good work.
Where are you, my girl? Aha. There you are at last. You might have kept me searching for a while yet, that you found such a secure hiding point amid those shadows.
It sure took you long enough. I was beginning to think I might never see you again.
This bookends the beginning of the game.
That is precisely what your father said when Zagreus first brought me here. Well, are we to suffer through another round?
No, this game is too easy. Tell me another one of your tales about the Golden Age.
Perhaps when you are older, lest your father be displeased. If you defy him, you merely get a mild reprimand. If I defy him, I get cut to little bite-sized bits, which then are sprinkled throughout Tartarus.
Kronos hasn't forgotten.
Ew. Well, if Father ever does that, I shall simply go find all the bits and put you back together again.
Spoken with the generosity of youth. You are the only one around here who would say such things, Melinui.
Truly? But don't the others like you, Grandfather?
Oh, they can never get enough of me, my girl. Except, we still have had our differences. But let me not concern you with the past. The only time that matters is right now. And right now... Tag, you are it.
Hey, no fair!
Still here. Oh gods, Zagreus. What?
Go on.
Prepare to suffer for all that you've done, wretch. Or shall I stay my hand merely because you made the mistake of loosening your hold on me?
This was no mistake. Nor shall I seek mercy from the likes of you, witch. Do with me as you
Oh,
must.
Cronus with his head in his hands there. What a wild character model change.
Headmistress, what happened? What's going on?
Anyway, where are we? One instant I discovered that our enemy invaded Erebus, and the next I know he's groveling about my feet. How is this possible? What have you done?
I did everything as planned, but Zagreus, I told him, I warned him. In his time, he was supposed to run the Titan through and end all this.
Zagreus spared me, took me in, and from that point, I led what came to be an altogether different life, which I now realize was but a dream, a delusion. Yet still, you changed my course.
And you take me for a fool. You suddenly recall having this chat with Zagreus a while back, and now you're having all these second thoughts?
Second thoughts? Oh, far, far more. Here, in this house, you had delighted in a hiding game when you were very small. And you and Zagreus would fight, but out of love, not in the bitter way we fought. I did not realize there could have been this other past of mine. This better past.
A better past? But none of it occurred. Nothing changed. You should be gone, not flooded with false memories. I would never have grown up cheerily with you. I don't understand.
None of us understand ourselves entirely. Melinwe, this wretch is overcome and shan't be using his old tricks again. End him.
Yes. Finish what you set your mind to, Granddaughter. For I have no desire to exist in such a world with all of you like this. Not for 1 moment longer.
Silence. You'll exist in this world until I say otherwise. Now enough talk. Release our family from your hold.
Our family? Granddaughter, I shall not release them now. You shall. And I await their judgment and your own.
Father, mother, brother.
Father, what? Why have you brought me here? And the others? What is the meaning of all this?
Ask your daughter, Hades. Perhaps she can explain better than I. As for the Queen and Prince and all the rest, the Princess needs but to remind them who they are. Go on, then.
Queen Persephone, Prince Zagreus, return to us.
Hades,
Mother.
Melinwe, you're all grown up.
Oh, Persephone.
Oh, my heart.
Melinwe, it's you. You did it. Me, I nicely asked Grandfather to stand down after all, long before you were even born. Oh, my head.
They shall recover. Give them time. Now send me to the blasted void already. You, son, or that witch, or you, granddaughter, one of you. I'm weary of incessant bickering. You long for a world without me?
Cronus isn't really a family man.
Wait, no. Sister, don't. Don't you remember? Grandfather, he was there when you were growing up. Was it a dream? Couldn't have only been a dream. Just please give him a chance.
Zagreus, you need not advocate for me again. What we experienced was a possibility and nothing more. And you, Melinwe, to think I put you through all this. Take your vengeance.
I ought to take my vengeance on you both. Zagreus, I trusted you with our entire family's future. And no, I don't remember any of what you and this Titan claim. How convenient that only you seem to recall it.
How convenient. You cast your dream time witch magic on us? And if you still think destroying Grandfather will make this ridiculous family's problems go away, then no wonder your fancy spell didn't quite work out.
Hecate is just like watching.
Permitted in this blasted house, especially not between the two of you. Do you intend to wind up old and wretched and wrathful like him, like me?
Lord Father, it was my wrath that brought me to this point. And how can you possibly compare yourself? Look what the Titan did to you.
We did this to each other. Gods and titans, doomed to live forever, yet learn nothing all the while. Do as you must, but take no vengeance in my name.
I may yet take vengeance in my own name. But let us first make certain Kronos shall undo the harm he caused. All of it. Zagreus wants to give him a chance. I want him to give us back the time we were denied.
Then he shall have his chance. You hear that, Father? By the grace of the Princess of the Underworld, you have one chance to return what you took. Bring this house to order to start with. My eyes burn at the very sight of this place.
I cannot change what already occurred, Hades. I am an old titan, as you say. All I have ever known is how to move forward. But if you and my grandchildren would have it, I can make time for this house of yours and everything.
Then be so kind as to get these chains off me so we can get to work.
They're gonna do like a father and son architecture thing where Kronos like oversees it all.
Remained in the house of Hades with the Titan of Time and the rest to aid in the recovery of however much was not forever lost. The rightful Underworld King and Queen were swift to organize this relatively painless task, and shades of the dead still loyal to their cause answered the call. They and the Titan picked up many pieces of the past. And soon, the house grew more like
They're doing a little puzzle.
But then, a summons from Olympus arrived, and the princess knew her.
Oh right, because they have a problem with Kronos too. Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, this is it.
Hey. Well, I think we can fix up the rest of this place on our own. Thank you for all your help. Especially the part where you liberated us from our temporal prisons and whatnot.
Believe me, I had nothing better to do. Anyhow, we'll have to find a way to cross paths out there. And each keep an eye on Kronos as we tie up some loose ends.
You're not still angry with me, are you? For, you know, not murdering our grandfather in an utterly defenseless state? I wish you could remember growing up with him. You got on rather well. He made you laugh more than I did.
In this dream past only you and he recall, I'm still uncertain how to feel about this possibility of a more pleasant life. Right now, I'd simply settle for a calmer one.
You don't seem like the settling sort.
Is the dog gonna let me pet him?
Goodbye, and we'll be seeing each other. Though, still, I'll miss you, little sister. And do send Hypnos back if he can't wake up on his own.
He'll wake up. I'm going to miss you too, big brother.
All right, we forgot to do the smelling salts to him.
I will. You take care too.
The notoriously fearsome triple-headed monster Cerberus rests in his favored spot, and now regards the Princess of the Dead with 3 expressions different than before.
Well, boy, this must be the next best thing to guarding the Underworld's gates. Say, do I have your permission to give you a scratch?
Let me pet the dog.
Demonstrated before. You're a fine dog.
Then let me pet the dog. Oh, it's about time. Oh, I've been wanting to pet this dog all game. Who's a good dog? Oh, look at him.
Moonlight guide us.
I guess we're not supposed to say death to Kronos anymore.
Witch of the Crossroads. It is no burden to you then to look after her and care for her as we would have had none of this occurred.
I am not her mother, my lord, no substitute for all that she has lost. Yet I once swore to you that no harm shall come to her, and that vow remains. And I shall always care for her, whether she resides with me or not.
And you, Milinoe, your mind is set. Though I am unsurprised, I nonetheless must ask, for your decision here is irreversible by laws much older than my own. To serve the unseen
is to serve in shadow. I know full well, Father, and do not make this decision lightly, but I can't leave the crossroads. Especially when my duty isn't yet complete, given what Kronos said about these other possibilities we face.
This new venture of his, such a toil for you, to have been instrumental in altering time as we know it, only to be charged with keeping it that way.
Oh, I don't mind. This matter is close to my heart. I suppose I'll either be a timekeeper or a time killer, depending on if Kronos continues to be on his best behavior.
It is as though he lived a different life up to this point. I still find it rather difficult to accept. Your Uncle Zeus shall have to judge for himself.
Lord Uncle has our full report. We'll see what he decides. All this is going to be an adjustment, isn't it? But I'll see you again soon, and Mother, and Cerberus, and Zagreus. Our responsibilities should mean our paths cross plenty often.
All part of what we now shall do. Cerberus has already taken to rampaging through the fields of his own accord, and your mother and I shall not be far. As for your brother, he always turns up.
I'll be counting on it.
Shadows conceal you.
Moonlight guides you.
Darkness suits me best.
My beautiful daughter. I still can hardly believe it's you. It's said that children grow up in the mere blink of an eye, but this was too fast. Much too fast.
Oh, Mother. I got here as quickly as I could, but it took some time. Didn't it, Grandfather?
It did. Queen Persephone, would that I could give back all the moments and the memories which I denied you in my fervor. Those who say time can be so cruel, they are right.
They also say time heals all wounds, though I've yet to verify that claim, especially with all our house servants still recovering. Forgiveness in our family is hard-won, Kronos, although it seems you've all eternity to try.
And for that matter, all eternity to locate the three fates. Still no sign of them at all, even with Nyx's aid.
None. I cast them into the abyss. Had I but known precisely where, they would have known how to get back. Yet if my hypothesis about other such possibilities as I experienced is correct, we may find them.
This hypothesis of yours about the flow of time, you're certain we need to keep conditions similar to how they've been to verify it?
Why, yes. That is the only way to test a theory properly. For it seems that my own understanding of the flow of time was flawed.
Something to rectify. Mother? Thank you for your hospitality and everything. It's been wonderful to see you.
You too. Knowing how things go, we'll see each other again before we know it. And you're dismissed as well, Kronos. You've done your part for now, however small.
You have my gratitude, O Queen, and my pledge. At least this house is mostly to your preference again. Beyond these halls, of course, much more is to be done.
Yes, well, Father shall see to the ongoing underworld renovations. Sounds as though he's done this sort of thing before. As for us, our chariot is here.
That it is. I am prepared.
Nyx!
Great Nyx.
My faithful eye of night, my child.
Nyx!
Thank you for ensuring that our realm remains secure and keeping watch above it all. I never doubted that I could count on you.
But Mother, had our watch been more dependable, then none of this would have transpired. I failed you, yet you praise me.
Trying times shall always come about. Now go, and whenever you ride through the dark of the sky, remember, I am always there.
Thank you, Mother, and farewell for now.
Farewell.
I must say, I did not expect that we could ever draw you down this far, sister. Perhaps not even headmistress in all her experience.
Ah, speak of
If
him.
you are ready, little star, then let us go, lest we outstay our greetings and farewells. I am honored to have seen these halls, and to return to Shadow with you on this night in victory, not haste.
Come, Melinoi, for all the reasons that Selene says. We have a delivery that we must make besides.
Then let's be off. If only Artemis were here, this could have been a proper Silver Sisters reunion, couldn't it?
Then let us ride into the dark above. And do be careful to hold on as we depart.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, daughter.
I do wonder what's going to go on here, though, because there's still, like, what I feel are unanswered questions with the Olympians.
If I may briefly interrupt, we have arrived at our initial destination, everyone. Olympus is not far from here.
I do appreciate the ride.
I like that our
of
chariot has
Moon
little
chariot,
wheels.
O Moon, but it is time for me to go. Perhaps my conversations with Hades have prepared me to face my other sons.
Lord Uncle Zeus asks that you come alone. He and Olympus may not be quite as merciful as father was, but how you act with them shall help determine that. They ought to be expecting you by now.
And I ought never to be late. Perhaps they shall at least permit me to assist you from here on in case you do retrace your steps. Till then, farewell. And thank you, granddaughter. My timekeeper. Right. Off I go.
Well, good evening.
Thought we'd drop in.
Lord Apollo and Lady Artemis.
It's a beautiful night, Lady Selene, and you must be the esteemed Witch of the Crossroads. You've trained my cousins very well indeed to have brought Kronos to our heights, still in one piece.
Fine, Apollo, I was incorrect for once. No need to boast. Melinoi, I may have wagered that you'd cut the Titan to ribbons sooner than you'd bring him here.
I know it's unimaginable, but he came here willingly, and Lord Zeus wanted to speak to him in private. Wait, does that mean you were kicked out of your house?
Well, we consider it a palace, but, no. No, we've been appointed to escort you to the Crossroads as a symbol of our family's unity, and come bearing a gift. Shall we be off?
We ride.
Here we go.
Death to Kronos. Complete the lifelong task of the Princess of the Underworld. And credits. Strange. Perhaps there's an epilogue that'll make some of this make more sense.
Dark shrouds the sky. In the east, when the sun begins to rise, shadows stretch their gloomy figures.
Oh, Hecate almost lost her hat. That's fun. I mean, I had a great time. I'm not sure if the story makes sense. I'm not sure. Maybe there's an epilogue that clarifies some stuff. Maybe not. There's gotta be more. It doesn't make sense yet. There's got to be more. You know, we got to expect to like see the fates or something, because there's still that prophecy to meet them. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't mean it will, it does mean that I noticed that it doesn't have a narrative cohesion that I would expect. It's not that I disagree with the making peace at the end, it doesn't track. Why were Hermes and Artemis so not in with the Olympians? What was going on with the Ares thing? It doesn't make sense. Well, I certainly hope that the post content clarifies some of my narrative critiques, because I just... I don't know. We get a Zagreus Millennium constellation for the end.
Thus was Hades, feared ruler of the dead, restored to his rightful throne alongside splendorous Persephone, the queen. The attacks upon Olympus finally ceased, and ever since, the gods governed our world with newfound care.
It's the end of the original story mode. There might be like other stuff, but yeah, we can keep on playing the game forever. I'm not like done playing Hades.
Long since been her home, and she and the Silver Sisters kept their secret vigil over all the realms forevermore.
May it all turn out that way in time, Homer. Though, what am I going to do with myself now that my task is finally complete? Well, I suppose I have eternity to figure it out.
Task complete.
What? Let's have a look around. The Fates, they're out there still.
I salute you.
Lady Medea needs this for who only knows. Boil tears of sorrow and return to your essential form. So mote it be.
But yeah, but I think I could just like keep on playing the game forever, right? Just like in the first one.
All hail the princess of the underworld.
Grandfather should be somewhere up ahead. Let's see how this goes.
Regroup with Kronos. Okay, so epilogue time begins now, and we have a specific quest to meet up with him. Oh, become Knight's Champion. You know, maybe we need to do that, but I think that's not for what we're doing here. But
Knight's Testament can wait.
But yeah, there you go. There you go. We beat it.
Hail our victorious princess of the underworld.
Indeed.
You made it from Oceanus. Good.
The three gifts of the veil.
Oh, I do know.
Whichever way I choose, I can prevail. But where to focus next?
But now we look out on the moon. Anyway, that's the main storyline complete, but there's still very clearly more, right? We have to go down and talk to Kronos, up and talk to Kronos, you know, play other stuff. There's still questions about things. There's still, you know, Arachne's storyline. We still have a lot of, you know, just... You know, here at the Olympians, you know, we've got a lot of locked... I'm like, yeah, we have... We should have been giving them offerings for ages. So, like, we've got all of these people that we need to give more... Oh, yeah, and we can give Kronos one later. Yeah. So there's all sorts of things to get new story from them. So, you know, we kind of beat the game a little early in terms of, like, our relationships with all the other people, which happened in the normal Hades too, you know. But,
Out, Snake Reed.
and, you know, we planted a bunch of stuff, and we're going to keep on planting it. But anyway, no wheat seeds to plant, very sad.
Take all the time you need.
But I guess we could try to wake up Hypnos now.
Alright, Lord Hypnos, let's give this a new attempt. We have to get you out of there. But first, breathe deep. The same dream as before. He's truly stuck. Not moved at all. Let's see if this works. I've something for you here. One moment, please. If you are dreaming even here, then I must ask if I could see into your psyche deeper still, Lord Hypnos. Whether you let me in is up to you, but once again, breathe deep. What? This is quite comfortable, really. Wait, there he is. Oh no, he's still asleep.
Even in his dreams, he's asleep.
Lord Hypnos? Lord Hypnos, can you hear me? Answer me. Anything? A twitch of the eye? Oh, come on, please.
Won't catch me sleeping.
He's dreaming about sleeping? Or about dreaming? This is beyond me still. How far?
Good old Thanatos. Busy. All time.
His brother Thanatos. Hope lost. The dream's collapsing again. No. Oh, got farther that time, but how many dreams are you having? But if you're dreaming of death, perhaps... Sleep well for now, my lord. Full grown.
Garlic there.
Could use the bones.
So the fish, get our nightmares. I think we need a bunch of fate fabrics, so we can just buy that.
It's done.
It's
Finally
done.
back from your father's house. Was Hecate all right? After the Titan got her, I ought to have taken guard duty more seriously, and won't soon forgive myself is all.
Headmistress would only want for you to learn from it. I half wonder if she let herself be taken just to get closer to our mark. Perhaps go speak with her.
Yeah. And what of Kronos? Heard he isn't really dead and gone. How come everybody's cheering for you then?
He's dead and gone in the sense that we have neutralized the threat he posed. I now shall have to grow accustomed to having him as a grandfather, rather than a hated foe.
Don't see why he can't be both. This was never part of the task, and not like you to stray from the objective. We sure this supposedly neutralized Titan of Time is to be trusted?
Headmistress sealed his strongest powers just in case. At any rate, we did it, Nem. The task is finally complete.
Then how come you look like you're headed out again? Heard there's still more time-related business to sort out.
Well, yes, but...
Then we're not done.
No, we're not done.
How are you faring lately, Headmistress? You've been, well, more reserved than I expected since the House of Hades. You said we'd speak more later.
How soon later turns to now. Look, Melinoi, I ought be in a more celebratory mood, given what you finally achieved. I am, above all, very proud of you. But being back at the house awakened memories that ought to remain dormant.
Even though you got to see Mother and Father again, and Nyx. They were so grateful to you, I could tell. I am so grateful to you. Things may not have gone precisely as we planned, but the result is what we sought, isn't it?
You refer to Kronos. I long to see that wretch destroyed. My heart remains poisoned by the thought.
Yes.
I am attempting still to draw that poison out. Do give me time.
I remember you once told me that destroying Kronos would not change the past, and that the pain would linger.
And I was probably correct. Yet we cannot help but reassess the turns our lives take, through our own choices and otherwise. Anyhow, are you prepared to carry on?
Nearly so. Retracing my steps should be interesting.
Later, and yeah, that's the end of the stream. But anyway, there's a little conversation with Hecate there. And we will go ahead and go to the main menu. Anyway, there's main story completion. Look, I love this game. I don't know that that story made sense as an A, B, C, D, E sort of story. But, I mean, like, I don't regret playing the game. I'm still, like, engaged. I'm still going to keep on playing it. You know, I'm going to do all of it. We're going to get all the achievements. We're going to do all of it, but I'm going to take a break now, probably get something to eat, and then I'll be back on in 15 or 20 or 30 minutes and probably play some Total War to end up the night. Maybe Minecraft, but probably Total War. I've been brainstorming stuff to do for this campaign, so I think that's what we'll do. But anyway, good night, Evan. Good night, Ronan. Froggy Wolfborn, thanks everybody for hanging out. Really enjoyed this session, you know, going up to Olympus, going down, fighting Kronos, you know, and hopefully after the epilogue gets sorted out, it'll make more sense and I'll feel more satisfied with how the story panned out. But was good stuff, was a good time, and you know, certainly I got another big old chunk of Hades playing to do before I'm ready to stop playing it for good. But as for now, I will be very pleased to end this session with a glorious victory over time itself, our grandfather. Grandfather time, they all call him. Anyway, see you guys, and maybe I'll see you here in a bit when we jump back on with a different game.